Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky, proud partner and supporter of the Republic of Ireland women's national football team.
Yes, it's Aisling O'Reilly here alongside Galway and Ireland international Julianne Russell. We're live from the Gamla Ullevi Stadium here in Gothenburg. It's Ireland versus Sweden and kickoff is at 5:30 p.m. We're going to have live commentary from Nathan Murphy and Shauna Cook throughout the game coming up very shortly. But all eyes are on Vera Pauw's side as Ireland get ready for an absolutely massive World Cup qualifier against Sweden. The Republic of Ireland and Sweden, they're in Group A for qualifying. They've already met last year in Tallaght Stadium with Sweden coming out with a 1-0 victory, but it's going to be a little bit different here tonight, we think. Julianne, how's it going?
Hey Ash, how are you?
Good. Now it's nice to be here. It's nice to be in Gothenburg.
It is. Look, it's a fabulous city. The sun is shining. The stadiums look absolutely amazing. They've done it really well here. They have yellow and blue signs for all the fans, and yeah, it's going to be an exciting evening.
Yeah, there's a great crowd that is gathered. You know, they've talked about over 12,000 tickets being sold. It's amazing to see this many people coming out.
Yeah, look, it's phenomenal. There's a great buzz around the city at the moment. You can see fans out throughout the afternoon, including some Irish fans. It was great to meet up and speak with a few of them. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
And Julianne, you were actually on standby for the game, so you might explain to us how that all works.
Yeah, look, probably not in the best position to be in, but the way it works is usually the club is given kind of about 3 weeks notice that there's a provisional squad. I was named on that, and then basically you're just kind of in a waiting period if a player gets injured. So for example, for this trip, Megan Campbell unfortunately picked up a knock for Liverpool, and as a result then Ava O'Mahony and Claire Reardon were called in to cover her. So yeah, look, it's, as I mentioned, I'd obviously prefer to be on the pitch and in the squad with the girls, but it is what it is, and I'm happy here to be working with Off the Ball for tonight's game.
Yes, I'm delighted to have you alongside me. And have you ever played against Sweden, even in the underage ranks, playing with Ireland?
Yeah, so I remember playing under 19s against Sweden. They were excellent underage as well. They've won a lot underage, and I suppose that's what they want to bring through into the senior team. Obviously they haven't won anything since 1984. They've come runners up, and they got a bronze medal in the last World Cup, so I think that they really want to push on and get that the win.
And the new Swedish kit, there's been a lot of talk about it, and we're just waiting actually for the teams to come back out here. They have done a little bit of a warm-up and they're gone back into the dressing rooms. But this new Swedish kit, it's a lot of talk about it, a lot of controversy around it. What do you think of it?
Yeah, look, I think it's an excellent marketing ploy. Kudos to the marketing team or to whoever came up with it. I studied marketing in college and did a master's in it, so I think it's excellent what they've done. Look, I think at the end of the day it's a bit of fun and cheek. I don't think there's too much malice to it, but yeah, look, fair play to them, and yeah, it's getting people talking.
Yes, we're definitely all talking about it anyway. And this is a really big moment for Ireland, a bid to reach a first ever major tournament. You know, it's massive for Irish football.
Yeah, look, it's absolutely huge. I think it's been an ambition for the squad for so many years, and we're so close, and just to make that final step, it would be amazing for all the younger generation and for women in sport in Ireland in general.
And we might go through the team, and we've just got team news. You might just go through it first, Julianne?
Yeah, absolutely. So starting in goals, we've Courtney Brosnan, who started the last couple of games. In defence, it's looking like a back five, with Louise Quinn in the centre and Megan Connolly and Niamh Fahey either side of her. We have Jamie Fidden as a right wing back, and on the left hand side it's Chloe Mustaki, who's actually getting her first competitive start. In front of them we have a four with Katie McCabe on the left, Lucy Quinn on the right, Denise O'Sullivan and Risha Littlejohn in the middle, and then we have Heather Payne up front on her own.
Any surprises in there?
Look, I think trying to fill the void of Savannah McCarthy was kind of didn't really know what was going to happen. I think Megan will be strong in there. great again to see Chloe getting the first start. I think it would it'd be great if we saw the likes of Leanne Kernan get a run today. She's on great form for Liverpool. She's banging in the goal, so hopefully we'll see a bit of her.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see her come off the bench. As you said, she's on great form at the minute, and a player like that, when they're on such good form, they're scoring goals, they need to be out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and she's pace to burn, and I suppose if we're bringing her on towards the end of the game and people have tired legs, it's a perfect opportunity for her, so hopefully we'll see her.
And then just looking at Sweden as well, they're a really physical team. We have to, I suppose, control that.
Yeah, look, they're athletic, they're strong, physical, they're quite tall as well, so I imagine they'll be dangerous from set pieces. But yeah, we just need to protect the ball as much as we can, don't give away silly passes, and just get stuck in from the start.
And I think the biggest thing as well with Sweden is just their strength and depth in their squad. As everyone knows, they're Tokyo 2020 Olympic silver medalists. They have a host of global superstars within their ranks.
Yeah, look, they have top-class players. So many of them have so much silverware to their name. The likes of Blackstenius and Aslani up front, I think they're going to be a very, very big threat. Then we can see actually there's a few superstars that are on the bench with Rolfo and Angagel. I believe that they were ill during the week. So yeah, they're on the bench, so we should probably suspect that they might come on as well.
Yeah, and also just the wide range of scores that they've had. 26 goals they've bagged so far this campaign. Now, they did hit 15 of those against Georgia last week, so they're going to be hungry for more of them tonight.
Yeah, look, absolutely. I know that 15 is a massive scoreline, but I suppose they had their shooting boots on. They're ready to go, and I imagine they'll want to prove a point by only beating Ireland 1-0 in the last match.
And we scored 11 against Georgia.
Absolutely.
And yeah, just at the other end, then I suppose they've conceded just once. So Ireland, I suppose, will need to be clinical.
Yeah, look, conceding just one goal says it all. They have a very, very strong defence. They too play with the three at the back, and their full-backs are quite athletic and are just up and down all day. Their keeper, Lindau, so experienced, and yeah, I think it's going to be difficult to score. I think it's going to be a set piece from us, to be totally honest. But yeah, hopefully we'll see some goals.
Yeah, we've just talked about some world-class players. What is the most positive outcome, I suppose? We want to get the win, of course we want to get the win, but what is the most positive outcome to come out of here tonight?
Yeah, I think the girls will be happy with the draw. Obviously everyone wants to win, but being realistic, I think a draw will be the best result.
We're just looking out here onto the pitch as well. We can see the Ukraine flags and just waiting for the teams to arrive out any moment now. It's just really amazing to see how filled up it is at this moment in time. A lot of people have came out, people are on their feet dancing. It's amazing to see.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable, and I think it's great. It's not, sometimes you might just think that there's all girls or women at the games, but there's loads of male spectators here as well.
And have you seen a change in that, I suppose, from playing with Ireland for years to this point now?
Yeah, look, the crowds are increasing game on game. The media attention is getting larger, as a lot of people would have seen the Sky partnership, and also the Cadbury's partnership is just absolutely amazing, and I think it's great for the younger generations to be able to see that. So I know when I was growing up I didn't see any kind of role models playing and on TV and that, so I think it's just really good for younger girls.
And just as you're saying that, I'm looking down into the crowd and we can see Annie Mulholland. Annie was brought over here as a surprise trip for her 7th birthday, and she's waving up here to us. It's amazing, like, to see the likes of that. She wants to play for Ireland one day. That's what she told me.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. Like, I was speaking to her earlier, and she was saying that she's going to the next match in Slovakia. So yeah, her parents will be flown all over the world, I imagine, with her.
And we're just watching the both teams come out now. They're walking out onto the pitch. Incredible atmosphere.
So good. The girls look very focused.
And we're just looking out for this new Swedish kid as well. All the talk. And it's amazing for Chloe Mustaki as well to be getting this start.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm delighted for her. She's gone through a tough few years. She was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, and then also unfortunately picked up an ACL injury then the year before last. So to see her come back from both really, really tough times is just absolutely phenomenal. So delighted that she's starting full back, and hopefully she'll have a great game.
Yes, absolutely. And as we talked about the result tonight, but I suppose in the grand scheme of things, it's going to boil down to the decisive double header against Finland at home, and then we've Slovakia away in September.
Yeah, look, I think the 1-1 draw that Finland had with Slovakia there a few days ago is excellent for us. Obviously, we had a blip against Slovakia. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I think they're going to have to take it game by game. Hopefully, we can get a bit of a result today. And then, yeah, the next couple of games are just vital.
And have you been impressed with their form so far to now?
Yeah, I think it's taken a bit of time. But I suppose we've been playing top nations, which is what needs to be done. So I suppose we weren't seeing massive results, but I think the last few games the girls have kind of clicked, and yeah, hopefully we can continue.
Yeah, this is it, because the team as a whole, they're a mix of experienced girls, and then they have a lot of younger girls coming through as well.
Yeah, look, there's a really good mix at the moment. Some of the girls have over 100 caps and some near into it, and then obviously there's some really young girls into the squad.
And we're just going to listen now for the Irish national anthem. And now for the Swedish anthem. Yes, an incredible atmosphere, and we're going to have live commentary from Nathan Murphy and Shauna Cook.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Aisling and Julianne. It is a huge occasion for the Republic of Ireland, taking on the world's number 2 side in what is a crucial World Cup qualifier. In many ways, but in many ways as well, Sweden are without question the quality side in this group. They will come into this match fully expecting to win and to get through this entire group stage by winning all their matches. For the Republic of Ireland, it's simply a case of making sure they end up inside those playoff spots. If you think the Nations League is tough, try getting into how convoluted it becomes to qualify for the World Cup finals through the playoffs from the European qualifiers. But we will worry about that down the track. This is very much one of the glamour ties in the game. Sweden, Olympic finalists this year, had a tough task in Tala back in the winter, just a 1-0 victory on that occasion, but in front of a packed house at the Gamla UG Stadium, they'll be expecting to score a few goals this evening. The two captains are meeting in the centre circle. Katie McCabe there for the Republic of Ireland has very much had her game face on for the last couple of days, and the captain for Sweden out there as well, Caroline Seeger, over 225 caps for the 37-year-old. There is a huge amount of experience in this Swedish side. Alongside me on commentary for the afternoon is the former Ireland international Shauna Cook. And Shauna, while the Republic of Ireland would love to go and get one of the greatest victories in the history of Irish football, at the same time we have to be realistic here about the gulf in class. Sweden are one of the best teams in the world. They will head to the World Cup finals next year, expecting to win that World Cup finals. What's a good result here?
Yeah, I think all Ireland teams generally play with their heart. We show a lot of heart when we play, but I think today is a day for playing with the head. Sweden are number 2 in the world. They're an absolute formidable team. So I think we just have to be sensible about how we approach the game, how we go about each minute in the game, and I think a satisfactory result would be a loss that is lower than 2 goals. But obviously the fan in me is saying, that we
dare to dream.
We could nick a draw. Like every team has its weaknesses, and every dog has its day as well. So this could be Ireland's day. Who knows?
All right, we are almost ready to go. Iuliana Dimitrescu is the referee. All Romanian officials for this game in Gothenburg, where there's been quite a bit of rain over the last couple of hours, but it looks to have cleared up quite nicely now, and all the players take the knee. For the Republic of Ireland, 3 changes from the side that won against Georgia by 11 goals to nil in their last competitive game. In comes Chloe Mustaki, Jamie Finn and Heather Payne. In fact, just 2 changes though from the last time these two sides met in Tala. Savannah McCarthy out with a long-term injury. In fact, one of the problems for Vera Pauw as we get underway is that all of her injury problems have come in the exact same spot on that left-hand side of the back 3, with Diane Caldwell and Megan Campbell also out injured. So it's going to be Megan Connolly who slots in on the left of the back 3. Courtney Brosnan continues in goal, despite not really playing any club football with Everton. The back 3 then, the vast experience of Niamh Fahey and Louise Quinn alongside Megan Connolly. Chloe Mustaki, what a story it is after all she has gone through over the last couple of years to make her first competitive start at left wing back, with Jamie Finn at right wing back. Ruisha Littlejohn, Katie McCabe and Denise O'Sullivan then with Lucy Quinn just behind Heather Payne is the Irish team, and they are in their traditional green jerseys, white socks and white shorts and green socks, and they're playing from right to left as we look at it in this first half. Sweden getting lots and lots of early possession, but the first touch of the ball for the Republic of Ireland's Denise O'Sullivan, who scored a hat-trick in that last qualifier against Georgia. For Sweden, it's just such an experienced side. Lindahl in goal, a back 3 of Ilstad, Sembrant and Eriksson. The most inexperienced there is Ilstad with just the 53 caps. They've got Glass and Anderson as the wing-backs, Bennison and Seeger in midfield, and then a front 3 of Asliani, Blackstenius and Hurtig, all 3 of whom scored a brace in their 15-0 win against Georgia last Friday. But they do have a couple of injury problems. Both Ralfa and Angelstad, who would have been certain starters, have been ill over the last couple of days, so they're only among the substitutes. Now Ireland trying to get some possession up around the halfway line, but taken away a little bit too easily, and now there's an opportunity for Blackstenius over on the left hand side. Now playing her club football for Arsenal, she drills it in towards the near post, but it's straight into the arms of Courtney Brosnan. But with just under 2 minutes gone, already we're seeing the way that Sweden want to approach this game. Blackstenius was the real threat, the star player for Sweden. She was playing her club football back home in Sweden at that stage with BK Häcken, but since then has moved to become a teammate of Katie McCabe at Arsenal. And the first, was it a shot in anger, Shauna? It was certainly a cross in anger.
Yeah, I think any striker will tell you they meant it. Any good striker, but her job is to put it into the mix and hopefully get something, and that's exactly what she done. It doesn't matter how it goes in. Once it goes in, that's all that matters. But you'd see she started off, she's a competitive player, she's chasing everything down, and I think that's Sweden's biggest threat, is their ability to get the ball in the box and have the big players to cut across defenders. And whether it's a deft flick or a great finish, they've scored many goals so far in this campaign from wide areas, so I'd expect them to play similar to that today.
And getting it wide early on, and Sweden coming on the attack, but in the right place. There was Chloe Mustaki, who fires it out of play. And it's one of those brilliant good news stories. Anybody who heard her on the Koi Gig podcast recently will know what she's been through, suffering from Hodgkin's lymphoma and then a terrible ACL injury, literally on the eve of what would have been a Republic of Ireland debut back in 2020, which ruled her out for a year. And she's the only domestic-based player in the starting 11 for the Republic of Ireland, and Ireland have a throw-in down this left-hand side. Katie McCabe putting under a little bit too much pressure there by Aslani, and it'll be a free kick to Ireland, and they'll use these opportunities wisely, I would expect, because there's plenty of experience in this Ireland side as well to slow the game down when they can.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed just from looking at the stats was Sweden actually give away a lot of fouls. They concede a lot of fouls, so I think Vera will probably telling our players to go down with every waft of air, to slow the game down. But I do think if they can entice those type of fouls in and around the Sweden box, they definitely have players that can capitalise on set pieces. The likes of Katie, Lucy Quinn and Megan Connolly are fantastic at set pieces. So I would just be encouraging Ireland to try and get the ball up the pitch and trying to see if we can kind of entice those fouls further up the pitch, and who knows what could happen.
And the Sembrant there, who plays her club football with Juventus, all but one of these Swedish players play with teams in the Champions League. And now a chance to send the ball in from deep. Well cleared by the Irish defence. It was Magdalena Eriksson, who was one of 2 Swedish players nominated for the Ballon d'Or this season. Volleyed forward, but underneath it is Mustaki, and then Denise O'Sullivan plays it into her midfield partner. And there was a foul given away by Aslani of Real Madrid, just going through the back of Risha Littlejohn there, and a free kick to Ireland. As I say, Sweden been very physical in the early stages, Ireland getting a couple of free kicks, and again an opportunity just to catch breath, pause for a moment, take 30 seconds out of the game with 5 minutes gone here on Off the Ball. It is still Sweden 0, Republic of Ireland 0, and it'll be Louise Quinn of Wicklow to take this free kick, playing at the heart of that Irish defence. Header down falls to McCabe. She just leaves it behind O'Sullivan, and Sweden win it back. But now in pouncing quickly is Lucy Quinn, and turns and spots out on this left hand side Katie McCabe. Has time to size up her cross. McCain drills it in. Brilliant ball into the area to Denise O'Sullivan, who just couldn't bring it under control. It was pinged in there at real pace from the left hand side from McCabe, and it was one of those trademark runs from deep from Denise O'Sullivan into the Swedish penalty area. And she seemed to get caught in 2 minds, whether to throw a head at it or to try and volley it or control it, and in the end she sort of did nothing. But that is half a chance for the Republic of Ireland. Yeah,
they'll definitely take some confidence in that. That was excellent closing down by Lucy Quinn to win the ball back and play Katie in. It almost came from nothing, and it goes to show you that they have the ability to put Sweden under pressure and to make things happen.
Sweden have an opportunity out on the left hand side. As you can hear, there's a cracking atmosphere in Gothenburg. 14,463 to capacity. They were expecting to fill it up. It certainly seems there's not too many empty seats. Anderson over on the left hand side, but overhits that pass, and it'll be straight back into the grateful arms of Courtney Brosnan. And again, she decides not to take it into her arms instantly, just takes a touch and allows Blackstenius to come in close and again take another few seconds out of it.
It's really good defending again. Best type of defending is when you don't have to make a tackle, and you can see there that they're just well organised. The one before that as well, that they forced Eriksson into kind of hit a hopeful diagonal ball that I think it was Chloe cleared up. So that's really good defending. Hopefully Ireland can just kind of stay that compact and organised as the game goes on.
High boot there from Denise O'Sullivan on Lena Hurtig. Gives away the free kick. Just pretty much on the halfway line. Standing over it is Aslani. And they take it quickly, and it's rolled across by Sembrant. And Sweden seeing plenty of the ball, but having it where Ireland will want them to have it, which is outside the final third. And Magdalena Eriksson is closed down. And Niamh Fahey rolls it out the right hand side, or if it's given away by Ireland in a danger spot. And there's a heavy coming together there, and the referee blows the whistle, and Jamie Finn involved, and she's a bit bemused by that decision. Lucy Quinn, in fact, over on the far side, looked like a bit of a 50-50 coming together between herself and Hurtig. They both found themselves on the floor, but it is a free kick to Sweden, and it's in a dangerous spot and an opportunity for them to send the centre backs up. Sembrant is there. Eriksson has come forward as well.
Well, this is where they're, I think, at their most dangerous. They've scored an awful lot of goals against teams from these positions, so just have to be brave in defence here.
30 yards out, left-hand side. Asllani standing over this for Sweden. The referee goes in, has a word with Risha Littlejohn, who won't be taking a step back, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's no messing with Risha.
Ball sent in dangerously, and Courtney Brosnan just steps out to the edge of a 6-yard box. It was a high line, well held by Ireland, floated in behind, but none of the Swedish players could get in quickly enough. And again, Courtney Brosnan takes a little bit of time out of it. One of those, if you were on the opposite side and you were Swedish, you'd be getting very frustrated already with how long Ireland are taking.
Yeah, definitely. I think in terms of Courtney's positioning there, it was very good. Sometimes that can be a difficult one for a keeper to make the decision to come out or not, but she's going to have to be brave against Sweden today and come out early, because they do put the ball kind of in that area between the kind of penalty spot and 6-yard box. So good decision by her, and again just taking the sting out of the game, which I expect her to do as the game goes on.
So long kick out is flicked on by Littlejohn, but Heather Payne can't get there. And remember back to the game in Tala, Heather Payne had one of those traditional Irish strikers' jobs of just getting around the pitch. You're not going to get much time on the ball. If you get a chance, try and take it, but more it's about the energy levels and not letting Sweden have anything easy. Ball in behind for Sweden, cut out by Quinn and then O'Sullivan, and fired forward by the Republic of Ireland. Heather Payne does chase it down. The keeper Lindahl is out of her goal quickly, gives it to Eriksson. But again, you see the energy levels from Heather Payne there, who covered 50-60 yards and not giving Sweden any time on the ball at all.
Yeah, I think we have to be just careful of that, kind of winning the ball back and hoofing it forward and hoping Heather kind of can get something. She'll get tired very, very quickly. I know she's a very fit, athletic player, but there's only so much of that you can do.
Yeah, there is a balance to get of when you do get possession. You can slow things down when the ball is out of play, but when you do get it, you want to hold on to it as well. Attack breaks down over on the far side for Sweden. Asllani's control lets her down, and a throw in to Ireland deep inside their own half. It'll be taken by Jamie Finn, winning her 11th cap this evening, playing her club football at Birmingham City.
Yeah, Jamie's a very, very another athletic player, but she's really come on since she's gone to England, and she started off in a kind of central midfield role, but has owned that right back role at Birmingham, so it'll be very natural for her today to play there.
Now, could be a first opportunity of the game for Sweden. Opens up 25 yards. Oh, brilliant block from Louise Quinn, and then it's a crunching tackle in on Denise O'Sullivan. Referee eventually blows the whistle, and rightly so. That was a shocking challenge from Hannah Bennison. It's going to be a yellow card, and well, I'd be interested to see the replay on that, because as the initial shot came in, Louise Quinn, as always, put her body on the line, got the block in at close range. Denise O'Sullivan responded quickest, and it was late, and it was very high. And I'll tell you, Hannah Bennison is very lucky to get away with just a yellow card there, because I think Denise O'Sullivan is in absolute agony. That is a leg breaker.
Yeah, she actually has committed, I think, 2 or 3 of those so far. I thought the one before that as well, the ref should have had a word with her. Like, that could have been really dangerous. I think she's fortunate just to see a yellow there, to be honest.
Yeah, Denise O'Sullivan is still down. I'd say it's one of those, a potential leg breaker, I probably should have said, not a actual leg breaker, thankfully for Denise O'Sullivan. But an early yellow card for Hannah Bennison, who did start in the game in Tala, the youngest player on this Swedish side, just 19 years of age. Struggled to get into the game that night as well.
Yeah, I think every Swedish player will be kind of eager to concrete a spot down for the Euros, you know, to be in that starting 11 and to hold a position, and especially the younger players like Bennison are always a little bit more eager to try and, you know, ensure that they have good performances, and sometimes that comes out in tackles like we've just seen there.
Hannah Glass with a throw in midway inside the Irish half down the right hand side. Ireland doing a very good job at disrupting any Swedish play so far, and smashed forward by McCabe this time. And again, maybe an opportunity there just to take it down, because there was no Irish player inside the Swedish half, and they're just giving the ball back time and time again. Dropping deep was Caroline Seeger, the Swedish captain, down this right-hand side towards Hurtig, but well read by Connolly. And then Mustaki drills it down the left-hand side, and Payne sets off in chase, puts a bit of pressure on Ilstad, but Ilstad, calm as you like, turns and gives it to her keeper, Lindahl. Lindahl, one of 3 players in this Swedish starting 11 with more than 150 caps.
Yeah, a very decorated goalkeeper. Has a lot of experience. Was the main goalkeeper at Chelsea for a number of years, and it went on to Wolfsburg and is now plying her trade in Atletico Madrid. I was reading an article that she said she was drawn there by her love for Iker Casillas.
Well, going to be turning 39 later this month. You see Caroline Seeger still running the show at 37 in the middle of midfield. Made her international debut all the way back in 2005. One of the real greats of the game. Now Sweden down the right hand side, looking to create a first opportunity of the game, because it just hasn't happened for them so far as we head for the quarter of an hour mark, and it's still scoreless. Maybe it'll come now, but Courtney Brosnan out brilliantly and quickly as the ball was played in behind for Blackstenius, who ran in behind the Irish defence. A slide rule ball in along the ground, zipped off the surface. Maybe that rain beforehand just added a bit to it. It was a perfectly timed run from Blackstenius, but just as she thought she was through, Courtney Brosnan was out quickly and dived down low to claim the ball.
Yeah, and I think myself included, a lot of people have maybe been a bit critical of Vera choosing Courtney Brosnan, considering she's not playing regular football club level, but I think so far she's shown why she's playing today. She's been very, very confident, and I think when a goalkeeper is confident, that naturally gives the back four, or the back five in the case of Ireland today, a lot of confidence as well. So hopefully Courtney can continue playing that way throughout the rest of the game.
All our coverage here of Sweden against the Republic of Ireland is with thanks to Sky, proud partner of the women's national football team. Outbelieve together and we can go anywhere. Julianne Russell also watching the opening quarter of an hour. Still Sweden 0, Republic of Ireland 0. What have you made it, Julianne?
Yeah, I think from an Irish perspective, we've been really, really compact. I think we're sitting back probably a little bit too much, to be totally honest. I think we're inviting them on a little bit too much, but yeah, we've done well so far. They haven't really had any clear-cut chances, and yeah, Courtney's done well coming out quickly out of her box when needed.
The frustration, Julianne, maybe for Vera Pauw, is that on a couple of occasions it's been Katie McCabe who's the one who's got possession, who's been the quickest to just fire it somewhat aimlessly down the field.
Yeah, look, I think we need to keep the ball a bit more. The girls will be absolutely wrecked if they just keep on chasing it and booting it up front. We had one kind of good chance on the 5th minute where Lucy Quinn got on the ball and good pass out to Katie, who crossed it in, where Denise kind of got a foot to it. But about that's all that we've created so far.
All right, so Sweden 0, Republic of Ireland 0, 16 minutes gone. That half chance for Denise O'Sullivan is probably as good as it got for either side so far, but it's all Sweden possession-wise, and they have it down the right-hand side with Hannah Glass, who steps in. Oh, and it's just taken off her toe there perfectly by Mustaki. Comes again out this right-hand side. Glass steps in. Denise O'Sullivan back helping out there as well. I'm sure she'd love to be another 40 yards up the pitch getting on at Denise O'Sullivan, but hasn't been that sort of game so far. Here's Ilstad of Paris Saint-Germain. Rolls it in short, and the touch of Blackstenius is a bit loose, and Ireland can come away. Lovely first touch from Denise O'Sullivan, and takes it on again, round one, and then passes it down to this left-hand side. There's a little bit of space now for Payne. She needs some support though on the inside. The run has been made up by Finn, nicely kept hold of, and back it goes and slid through again towards Jamie Finn, but the pass from McCabe just had a little bit too much weight on it. But that was really nice passage of play from the Republic of Ireland. Exactly what we were just talking about there, Shauna, of needing to keep the ball more, doing better with it, and Denise O'Sullivan did brilliantly to bring Ireland forward.
Yeah, excellent player Denise is, and she loves to keep the ball live and keep it moving, and it was just kind of a pity that pass was overhit, but in fairness to Heather, she was absolutely brilliant there. But you can see how dangerous she is when the ball is given to her feet. Now
Sweden back in possession, but Denise O'Sullivan again putting some pressure on, and Sweden having to go back to Iljestad, and now she gives it out to Glass on the Swedish right-hand side. Almost all the first half so far being played inside the Irish half, but they're holding their shape very well and restricting the opportunities for Sweden, who, with the exception of that 15-0 win over Georgia on Friday night, the goals haven't exactly flown too freely for Sweden so far. There have been question marks about their attacking play, but here they come again. Glass, nice intricate passing this time. Blackstenius in behind, angle tight on the right hand side. The cross is cut out and eventually hooked out of play then by Fahy in behind for the first corner kick of the game for Sweden. Good patient build up from the home side. Again, Blackstenius just holding a line on the shoulder of the Irish defender, timing her run. This time she did get there, pulled it back. It was just behind Hurtig, and that allowed Niamh Fahy, use all her experience, and turn it behind and out of play down the right hand side for Sweden. But they get it in to the middle. Seeger drills it forward. Little header by Quinn. It'll be kept alive by Blackstenius on the right hand side of the area. The cross then comes off the head of Mustaki, and it'll be out of play down the right hand side, and Sweden still in possession, but they're just starting to up it now over the last couple of minutes. The home side, Olympic finalists last year, just beaten on penalties by Canada, and now they have this corner kick, and it'll be taken by Joanna Anderson of Chelsea down to our right hand side, and a huge amount of players congregating just in on top of Courtney Brosnan, and we'll see what Anderson can come up with. Left footed in swinger right on top of Brosnan, gets a touch on it, and then it's fired back in. Miss kick, and it's blocked by Louise Quinn, and eventually it's hooked clear by Payne out onto the right hand side, and that the first real opportunity for Sweden. Courtney Brosnan, well, there was so many players. There must have been 10 players between her and the ball. She did very well, in fact, just to get a little punch on it, but the ball fell for Caroline Seeger, who swung her right boot at it, and it was a bit of a miss kick, if anything, from 10 yards out, and a let off for Ireland.
Yeah, I think if Courtney's going to come for them, she has to be dominant. Like, just go through the pack. It doesn't matter who you take out of it. The girls will thank you later on if we don't concede a goal. That wasn't kind of very confident there, but luckily it didn't result in anything coming of it. But I think just from looking at the game so far, it looks like Sweden have kind of targeted our left hand side, and there's a lot of ball going kind of down Katie and Chloe's side, and look, I don't think that they're an incredibly creative team. They're obviously number 2 in the world for a reason, but they're actually not incredibly creative. They just do the simple stuff really well, and they find those pockets of space. So I think it's just about kind of Chloe not getting too attracted to the wide player and staying tucked in tight to Louise, giving her a dig out, and then Katie just on front of her, just shielding anything in there.
Well, I think it was after the 2016 Olympic final that Hope Solo described them as cowards for the way that Sweden set up and played. And defensively, they are as good as anybody. Just 1 goal conceded in the 6 qualifiers so far. Only conceded 4 in their 6 games during the Olympics. So they are based on a very solid backline. It may have some defending to do now, as Megan Connolly scored that wonderful free kick in Finland, fires it long and gains Ireland 60 yards, and almost rugby style, it is just about getting some territory now and some time out of their own half. Jamie Finn takes the throw in. Denise O'Sullivan has it over on the far side, slides the ball through, but too far in front of Payne, who does well to get there though, brings it to the end line, and then unfortunately the experience of Sembrant is too much for Heather Payne, who just uses her strength to shepherd the ball out of play, as Heather Payne brought it to the end line, and it'll be a goal kick for Sweden. But again, Ireland have had 2 or 3 opportunities, and when they've had them to get into the Swedish half, they've actually done the right thing and put some nice passages of play together.
Yeah, they've found Heather's feet a bit more than past games, and I think that's shows the type of player that she is when she gets the ball to her feet. For me, she's very, very dangerous. I've played against Heather many times, and she's a lot more dangerous with the ball at her feet than she is running after it. So I just hope Ireland can continue to do that.
Now Katie McCabe, just inside her own half in a central position, turns back and gives it to Louise Quinn, and then to Connolly, who started all the other games in this campaign in the middle of midfield for Ireland, but filling in on the left of the back 3. Back to Brosnan, who rolls it out of goal to this left hand side to Connolly again. Now Mustaki being put under a bit of pressure, but nicely to Connolly. This is lovely football from Ireland, albeit in and around their own penalty area. Played now out there towards Lucy Quinn, yeah. And she just loses out, unfortunately, to Eriksson. But Ireland's starting to grow with a little bit of confidence at the midway point of this first half. Sweden 0, Republic of Ireland 0 in this World Cup qualifier in Gothenburg. Ball over the top is dealt with, and Louise Quinn made a nuisance of herself there as the ball was played in towards the Swedish attackers, and Blackstenius already looks a little bit frustrated and not been able to have the influence on this game that she would want. This time I think she'd actually made her run a little bit too early and should have been flagged for offside. There's another game, by the way, going on in this group at the moment, which is Group A, and Finland 6-0 up against Georgia. No doubt about it, Georgia, the weakest team considerably in this group, and the problem is that goal difference can be important. Sweden will go on, barring an almighty collapse tonight and over the remaining campaign, to win this group. The team that comes second, which is expected to be either Finland or the Republic of Ireland, goes into the playoffs. Ireland have the advantage at the moment with the 11 goals against Georgia, but also having gone to Finland and winning. They thought they had slipped up badly against Slovakia, but then Finland ended up dropping points against Slovakia on Friday night in a 1-1 draw. So realistically, if results keep going to form and the Republic of Ireland can beat Finland at home in September, they should qualify, though Slovakia to come in the last game could be a bit of a difficult one. Now, coming again are Sweden, down the left-hand side. Ball finds its way to Asllani, brings it to the end line, sends the cross in, over everybody and headed over the top of the crossbar from close range. A big chance there for Lena Hurtig, and the first real opportunity that Sweden have carved open in this match, and they're playing that front three of Asllani, Blackstenius and Hurtig right on the shoulders of the Irish defence, and this time it was Asllani who brought it down the left hand side, sent the ball across, and flying in like a train was Hurtig, and almost too much pace. She just couldn't control her header and smashes it over the top.
Yeah, I think Jamie Finn has to do better there. She got caught, I'm not sure she got caught ball watching a bit, but you could just see there, you can't give them a second or have a tiny lapse of concentration, because something like that can happen to you.
And down the left hand side, ball is played out. It's going to be a throw in to Sweden right on the halfway line. 25 minutes gone. The Swedish team unbeaten in their last 23 matches, and they'll be heading to the European Championship finals this summer in England.
You can see that they're getting a little bit frustrated with kind of not having it all their own way, and I do think we've shown that we can play the ball around, and we just have to be brave enough to try that a bit more. Like I don't believe we can't do it, and we shouldn't do it with the players that we have.
Brilliant interception from Mustaki down the left hand side, brings it forward 20 yards. But then when the pass was on to O'Sullivan, she left it short and was intercepted by Seeger. And now bringing the ball forward for Sweden on the counter attack is Benison. However, tracking back and getting back was Megan Connolly, and she needed to do that because Chloe Mustaki had done everything right. She anticipated the pass forward. Suddenly it all opened up. Denise O'Sullivan had got into a pocket of space as well, but unfortunately for Ireland, Mustaki's pass wasn't of the quality of the interception.
Yeah, the old rush of blood to the head. Well, Chloe's really good at that. She does it for our club week in, week out. She's an attacking fullback. She likes to get forward, but we just have to be careful there. We seen how we lost it close to their goal, and in a matter of seconds they managed to move the ball really quickly up the pitch. But again, they're not very creative. It's like they're kind of getting to a point and running out of ideas. They're just trying to kind of play.
It's almost just relentless pressure and assuming that the opposition will make a mistake at some stage.
Yeah, and I do believe that out of the other teams in the group, they probably fear us the most, because we are a tough team. We play with a lot of heart. We won't back down. And like, I know everybody's probably expecting Sweden to win here, but like, when you look at the players that we have in our team, in terms of like Denise O'Sullivan is one of the top players in the world, same with Katie McKay, one of the top players in the WSL. I think we have the talent. Louise Quinn is definitely playing below our level at the moment with Birmingham. The likes of Fahy and Leanne Kernan have made the move back to WSL next season, so we have players equally as good as theirs. I think it's just about believing and trusting that we can, go out and get a result, and playing football at the right times in games.
Lucy Quinn has it over on the right hand side. Ireland tried to string a few passes together. Sweden try and string a few passes together, but it keeps breaking down for both sides when it gets into the final third, and the end result is a throw in over on the far side to the green of Ireland, right in front of the two technical areas. Peter Gerhardsson, the Swedish manager who's been there since 2017. Of course, Vera Pauw taking charge of the Republic of Ireland for the 21st time tonight. She would like it to have been a hell of a lot more. She was saying in her press conference yesterday, since she took charge, Sweden have played about 50 games. With the way the international calendar works, that some of the lesser sides don't get the same amount of opportunities.
Yeah, I think, you know, in fairness to Vera, she has a point, but I think in the Algarve Cup that they went at the same time as Ireland were playing in the Pinatar Cup, they played one less game than Ireland. I think the game against Denmark was called off, so I suppose they maybe have a bit of a trump card in Sweden there for 2022.
Zembrandt steps forward, and now it's Hannah Glass on the right hand side, goes back to the halfway line again. Sweden happy to play it about with Magdalena Eriksson. Finished 8th in the World Player of the Year vote this year, Magdalena Eriksson of Chelsea.
It's always good to see defenders rated so highly. Normally we don't get the
You don't get the love.
Yeah, the same acknowledgement as the strikers. I think Frederick Lamb from Bayern Munich was complaining about that one year. He was right to.
Well, Stina Blackstenius also nominated for the Ballon d'Or at the other end of the pitch, and Sweden again stringing together 15-20 passes comfortably. And now Glass has time and space down the right hand side, sends the cross in, sends it in deep. Brosnan comes, gets a punch on it, and gets a good punch on it. Now it goes to the right hand side, and chasing it down is Jamie Finn, and ends up bringing it out of play. And Brosnan's been called into action a couple of times with not saves, but just having to do the simple things right, and getting a good strong right arm on that.
Yeah, and that's all she needs to do. Her defence and team will grow in confidence. Each one of those she punches away confidently. Lucy Quinn, I think, just needs to be careful there. I think she tried to kind of take the ball down and run with it, and ended up conceding a throw in. And just have to make sure you're playing football at the right times in the matches.
Now it's opening up for Sweden just on the edge of the area, but as they thought about pulling the trigger, it's taken away by Littlejohn and then fired clear by Quinn up to the halfway line. Zembrandt picks a pocket of space, and the spinning ball in behind was towards Blackstenius, well read by Louise Quinn. However, it goes straight back to the yellow jerseys of Sweden, who are attacking down to our right hand side in Gothenburg. Glass cuts in from the right towards the edge of the area, leaves it behind Blackstenius, and they cannot get that final ball to work. Denise O'Sullivan runs into a bit of trouble in the middle of her own half. Taken away again by Sweden. They're starting to come in waves now. Hurtig sends it in towards Aslani, but this time it's Niamh Fahey who's underneath it. Sustained pressure from the home side, in towards Blackstenius, overhead. Ooh, a scuffed clearance back there from Mustaki, but it found an Ireland jersey and then just desperately cleared deep into the Swedish half. Heather Payne sets off in chase yet again. Lindahl comes out of her goal. And Ireland starting to feel a little bit of pressure now, but half an hour gone, still Sweden 0, Republic of Ireland 0 on off the ball. All of this with thanks to Sky, proud partner of the women's national football team. Out believe together and we can go anywhere. Well, can they get to Australia and New Zealand for a first ever World Cup final appearance? There's a long way to go, but a point even here will be a huge boost. I went through the way the group will work out and the expectations that Sweden will win all their games. Any point as a bonus would be massive, but here comes Sweden again on the edge of the area, slid through, and an opportunity as it comes to Seeger. Oh, she's hit the crossbar and it bounces down on the line and bounces out. Biggest chance of the game. Lovely build-up play again for Sweden, who are really starting to dominate this game now, and the run was made in behind by their captain Caroline Seeger, 8 yards out, got there ahead of Brosnan over the top of the Irish keeper, but off the underside of the crossbar, and Ireland survived, but more defending to do now as Anderson sends it in from the left hand side. Louise Quinn clears the danger, but Ireland need to find a way of just getting their foot on the ball now, because you'd wonder how much longer they can hold on for. Sweden have it right on the edge of the area. Benison plays it short. Out it comes to Glass.
I think she was trying to be too clever with that shot.
Cross from the left hand side. Niamh Fahey is underneath it. Again clears her lines, but again only as far as a Sweden jersey. But now eventually it's just smashed clear desperately. And Ireland had a chance there to pick a pass, but I think they just need to try and catch their breath. It was a brilliant run and shot.
Yeah, it was a great little run just to cut across the the blind side of Ruesha Littlejohn and make it difficult for Louise Quinn to kind of make up the yards. But the crossbar saved us this time. We'd take that every time they have a shot.
Well, just in the last 5 minutes, Sweden have really started to up the tempo in the game and ask a huge amount of questions of this Irish side. But it does remain scoreless. Ruesha Littlejohn looks to have just a little bit of a problem.
Pitch looks like it's cutting up a bit as well. Which will be interesting to see. Starting to see a few monkey spots appearing.
It was a lovely pass from Benison to release in behind. And thankfully, from an Irish point of view, crossbar saves. So it's a throw in. I've just had a bit of a break in play there as a couple of players grabbed a drink.
Yeah, I think that was Katie there closing down, maybe trying to give Heather a bit of a breather.
And Heather Payne, just the one goal for Ireland for Heather Payne in this, her 25th appearance. I'll say not just about that, and it was lovely again from Denise O'Sullivan, managing to use her strength to hold off the initial challenge and then playing the ball in behind for Payne, but Payne was in an offside position, so had to hold her run and it all broke down. But every time Ireland get Denise O'Sullivan on the ball, well, unexpectedly for one of Ireland's most talented players, she's really making an impact.
Yeah, like voted the MVP of Courage twice I think now, and a great award to hold considering the standard of player in that team. You can actually see as well when you look at the stats for Courage how well she passes the ball. She's got really high passing accuracy. Her success rate for passing is really high as well, and you know, she's a really creative player that I think if we can get Denise on the ball, she combines really well with Heather Payne. Heather just has to be a little bit more sensible about not running too early.
Here comes Sweden again. Blackstenius in behind. The bounce though takes it away from her inside the penalty area. The offside flag goes up on this near side anyways, as Megan Connolly had done her job and just holding off the run of Stina Blackstenius, who had just this time gone a step too early. No VAR in operation this evening, but there was no question that Blackstenius was in an offside position. But that's exactly where she has played for this entire first half, right on the shoulder of either Louise Quinn or Megan Connolly. 10 minutes to go to half time, and can Ireland hold out until the break and regroup and go again?
I think she would have got a 10 out of 10 if she had a dive like that in the National Aquatic Centre, but didn't mean anything against Megan Connolly. She went down a bit soft there, I think, as well. Blackstenius, it looks like she's going to try and go down with any type of touch she gets. I know they complained about that after the game in Tala. They felt like we were a little bit too rough with them. So I can imagine any type of contact, they'll probably look to go down in the box.
The crowd rises as Sweden come on. It's a poor clearance from Finn over on the right hand side. Breaks in the area. First Lani, out it goes again. And now there's an opportunity for Sweden. The shot comes in, it's blocked, it's ping-ponging around inside the area before eventually it's just smashed clear by Littlejohn up to the halfway line. But Ireland, for the last couple of minutes, have not been able to get their foot on the ball at all. And it's hard to see at this stage how they can hang on till half-time playing like this.
Yeah, they're having a bit of success down there, left-hand side or right-hand side. I think Jamie Finn just has to ensure she's doing her defensive duties.
Finland still leading Georgia by 6-0 in the final minute of injury time. That's actually a good result for Ireland. It'll mean that Finland are on 14 goals scored and Ireland are on 14 goals scored, but Ireland have another game to come against Georgia and another opportunity to rack up some decent goal difference. And they need to make sure they don't lose and concede too many here as well. They haven't conceded any so far. They've been defending in numbers, a really low block and making life difficult for the Swedes, but they have now started to find a way through. It is just the relentlessness, if anything, of the Swedish attack. The concentration levels need to somehow stay high from an Irish point of view.
Yeah, I think as the game goes on, just from my own experience, like it's harder to communicate because you're getting more tired, you know, you're out of breath a bit more, you're kind of fatiguing a little bit, but I think so far they've done pretty well.
Down the right hand side and through one challenge and into the penalty area before stepping in quickly and giving away the corner kick. Katie McCabe, no. She's got the goal kick, Katie McCabe, who cut across just to get the tackle in on Blackstenius, who was coming in from the right-hand side. And McCabe, clearing it behind for a corner, actually manages to play it off her club teammate, Blackstenius. The assistant referee on this near side had given the corner kick. Katie McCabe lost it, to put it mildly, went absolutely ape at the assistant referee. It was one of those moments where in the meantime the referee had changed her mind and Katie McCabe had to somehow pretend she wasn't quite as angry as she was, while also trying to save face. End result though, good news for Ireland, it was a goal kick.
Yeah, it was a good piece of defending, and I think that's going to be critical today, is not giving away kind of silly corners or set pieces in dangerous areas against a team that scored the majority of their goals from crosses and set pieces.
If you're just joining us and off the ball, it's still Sweden 0, Republic of Ireland 0. Sweden have had the best opportunity. It was Aslani who hit the crossbar from 10 yards out. But Sweden, you could say, fortunate to have 11 players still on the pitch. A really dangerous challenge from Benison on Denise O'Sullivan. Denise O'Sullivan very fortunate not to suffer a serious injury, and Benison got away with a yellow card. Ireland had that one half chance where Katie McCabe crossed for Denise O'Sullivan. She just couldn't bring it under control. Had a couple of passages of play, but really Sweden have been dominant in the possession stakes. The ball drilled down towards the edge of the Swedish penalty area, controlled there in turn by Payne, who gets the shot off, and the first shot in anger of this game by the Republic of Ireland comes in from the edge of the area from Katie McCabe on her right foot. She was spinning, she controlled it beautifully, but unfortunately was straight at Hedvig Lindahl in the Swedish goal.
Yeah, she's done really well to control the ball and turn the player, just couldn't get enough on the strike. But again, positive play from Ireland. And Sweden come down this right hand side again. I think they've kind of targeted that as a potential weakness in Ireland.
Hannah Glass sliding the ball through down the right hand side. Blackstenius drills it across to the edge of the 6-yard box. It's cleared back there again by Connolly, who's having a fine game on the left of that back three for the Republic of Ireland. Sweden have space to attack into though towards the edge of the area. Again, Glass, who's been the constant outlet down this right hand side. First time ball, there's a little nudge on an Irish defender there, and the referee blows the whistle, and it's going to be a free kick to the Republic of Ireland inside their own penalty area, as we see a replay of that opportunity for Katie McCabe. It was Connolly who drilled the free kick down. McCabe chested it down on the edge of the area, then wonderful control, little spin, edge of the D onto her right foot, got the shot off, got good power behind it, but unfortunately straight at the Swedish keeper.
Yeah, fantastic deliver by Megan, and the control from Katie there was excellent. Just a pity it couldn't have been something more, but in fairness to Ireland, Sweden have only conceded 7 shots on goal in 540 plus minutes of football, so that in itself is a positive to take away from the game.
Down the right hand side for Ireland with Finn straight to Eriksson into the final 5 minutes of this first half, and stepping out is Amanda Ilstad. Brings it up into the Irish half of the pitch, and quick interchange of passes, getting a lot of space down this left hand side, Irish left hand side that is. Hannah Glass steps in on McCabe playing in a more advanced role, and Sweden looking to take advantage of that. Hannah Glass's cross comes off Mustaki and then headed forward by Connolly and volleyed forward by Mustaki and fired out of play up towards the halfway line.
Yeah, I think they're definitely targeting this side, but what's really interesting is like they're not taking players on. They're just kind of being happy enough to retain possession. As I said, like I think they do lack a little bit of creativity at times.
Glass, Bayern Munich. Probably had more touches of the ball than anybody in this first half. Back she goes to Ilstad, sends the cross in from very, very deep, headed clear by Ireland. Now here's Katie McCabe on towards Denise O'Sullivan. Denise O'Sullivan brings it up over the halfway line, checks her run. Oh, she's just wrestled back then by Eriksson, and that's got to be a yellow card, and it is. And Denise O'Sullivan has now drawn yellow cards from Benison and Eriksson. It was really cynical stuff because Ireland were away on the counter-attack, and well, she just wrapped the arms around Denise O'Sullivan's neck. Magdalena Eriksson said, "You ain't going nowhere," and picks up a yellow card for her troubles, Eriksson. But that shows the threat that Denise O'Sullivan poses. Yeah,
they'll definitely have been doing their homework on Denise in terms of being probably the most creative player for Ireland and the most dangerous as well. But I think it just goes to show you how frustrated Sweden are getting. You can see there that it's just coming out and off the ball stuff. And Ireland will be happy enough to win free kicks in these positions. As I said before, like Sweden, they actually commit a lot of fouls, and I think it's something that we could potentially have an opportunity or two from.
McCabe goes short out to the right hand side. Ball sent in very, very deep. Could be a chance here for Ireland. Falls to Denise O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan on the right hand side. Pulls it back to the edge of the area. Shot comes in. Takes a deflection and it's into the back of the net. And the Republic of Ireland lead in Sweden. And it is Captain Fantastic, Katie McCabe, who has scored it. What a moment for the girls in green. They lead Sweden by 1-0, and it is Katie McCabe from the edge of the area, the deflected shot, a huge goal for Vera Pauw's side just before half time. Sweden 0, Republic of Ireland 1, Katie McCabe.
Yeah, it took an absolute woeful deflection, but look, we'll take it. As I was saying, I do think we can get opportunities from set pieces, and that just goes to show you if we can win those set pieces, things can come of them, whether it's directly from the set piece or getting bodies in the box and those kind of shots thereafter. So absolute brilliant work from Denise O'Sullivan to start that off, and brilliant energy from Katie to first spot Denise free, to take the free kick quickly, and then to follow up with the shot. Absolutely buzzing for them.
Well, is there a better player wearing a green jersey right now than Katie McCabe, the captain, stepping up and giving Ireland a 1-0 lead a minute before half time? And here they come again, driving forward over on the right hand side. Play allowed to continue as Sweden appeal for the free kick. Still McCabe cutting in, long distance strike from all of 35 yards out, and it just floats high and wide. But that is the confidence that goal has given this Irish side. As we see a replay again, the ball sent in from the right, wasn't cleared fully from Sweden, dropped to Denise O'Sullivan, chested it down, chose the right option, had McCabe just behind her, pulled it back, struck it with venom from the edge of the area, and took the most wicked deflection and spun into the bottom left hand corner of the goal to give Ireland a 1-0 lead. And we'll put them on course as we head to the break for what would be, without question, their most famous victory. This will be the upset of all upsets. Sweden, the second ranked side in the world. They all came here wondering it was a case of how many would they win by. 1 minute of injury time as Jamie Finn goes off with a bloodied nose.
Yeah.
Glass down the right hand side. Cross sent in. Brosnan lets it go. Too much on it. Swedish can't keep it in, and it rolls out of play for a goal kick, and that should be enough to see Ireland go in at the break in front.
Yeah, I think they just have to do what they can now to slow the game down until the ref blows for half time. But I think even with the 1-0 up, like, we just have to continue to play with the brain instead of the heart here. Just keep doing what we've been doing early on, defending well, and as I said, trying to win those fouls further up the pitch, because Sweden will commit fouls. They have done. I think it's been about 40 in the games before this. So it's definitely something that we can frustrate them on. But great to be going in at half time in the lead.
And there goes the half-time whistle. Well. Sweden 0, Republic of Ireland 1 at half-time in this World Cup qualifier in Gothenburg. And it was Katie McCabe, who else, who is having the season of her life, scoring her 14th international goal. Sweden dominated possession in that first half. Probably should have gone in front when Slani hit the crossbar from close range. They've had a couple of other half chances, but so too have Ireland, who've grown in confidence in possession when they've had opportunities. Denise O'Sullivan has drawn a couple of fouls that have resulted in yellow cards, and it was the second of those that started the passage of play that saw Katie McCabe put every ounce of her energy into that left-footed effort, took a deflection, and gives Ireland a 1-0 lead. Just the second goal that Sweden have conceded in this entire qualification campaign. Shauna Cook alongside me on commentary. Does this change how Ireland approach the second half?
No, I don't think it does. Like, Sweden are a real threat, and you can't kind of go in thinking, look, we've got to come out and just completely sit back and not kind of do anything beyond our 18-yard box or halfway line, because as we've seen, even with numbers back, they do find those spaces and they can be dangerous and control the game, even the tempo of the game. I just think we have to go out there, obviously be organised and disciplined in defence, but still be brave enough to get on the ball and create chances. Like for me personally, I said it even before the free kick, I do think for us we can capitalise on enticing them into making fouls and frustrating them, and that's exactly what the goal has come from, and there's opportunity to do it again in the second half. They're at home, they're frustrated that things aren't going their way. Just build on it.
A massive second half to come in Gothenburg, but the Republic of Ireland have got their goal. Can they hold out against the might of Sweden? Second half commentary to come. Quick break and then we're back with Aisling and Julianne.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky, proud partner of the women's national football team. Out believe together and we can go anywhere.
Yes, you're very welcome back. Half-time here in Gamla Ullevi Stadium here in Gothenburg. It's Sweden 0, Ireland 1. I'm watching on alongside Ireland and Galway player Julianne Russell. Ireland extremely happy going in at half-time, Julianne. Katie McCabe, 43 minutes gone, a deflected shot. We don't care, we'll take it.
Look, absolutely. I'm buzzing for the girls. Look, Sweden had probably 90%, 95% possession. But look, goals win games, and that was the most important strike. I think it came from a set piece, and amazing defending, but let's just keep the head.
Absolutely. A lot of early possession for Sweden. Ireland were really struggling at times to even get on the ball.
Yeah, look, I think most of the game was played in Ireland's half. Very, very good possession from the Swedes. They were being very patient with it, just constantly across the back. But yeah, the Irish girls have defended really well.
And it was about 5 minutes gone when we seen the first chance, a great cross by Katie McCabe, and Denise O'Sullivan, she just couldn't get on the end of it.
Yeah, it kind of looked like she was in two minds whether she could go with her head or her foot, but yeah, it seemed like she went for the foot and it just kind of skimmed past.
And there was a lot of chances, we said, for Sweden. Really not really getting on the end to get that final chance, though. They had a lot of possession, as we said, but just couldn't really finish it off. We've seen a free kick as well in a dangerous spot. It was about 8 minutes gone or so, but thankfully no one got on the end of it and it just trickled out.
Yeah, there hasn't been like too many clear-cut chances. Obviously, they hit the crossbar, which we'll probably speak about in a minute. But yeah, they've been getting to the end line quite a bit and getting balls into the box. But the Irish defenders have just been putting their body on the line and clearing it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see that Ireland are slowing down the play quite a lot from early on. Do you think this is something that they can continue? I know they're trying to hold them off as much as they can, but they started it quite early on.
Yeah, look, they really are wasting down the time. I think from the first minute we could see Courtney Brosnan taking her time with the kickouts, even from the throws in as well. Ireland are really taking their time.
And we saw as well a high challenge on Denise O'Sullivan. She looked like she was in agony down on the pitch here. She was lucky, I think, to get away with a yellow card as Lani. It was extremely dangerous.
Yeah, look, it was a dangerous tackle, and Denise, looked in a lot of pain, but delighted that she was actually okay, and she's had a very good first half.
Yeah, she actually is been incredible. You can see her really throwing her weight around, getting in there, really physical. She's well able for these Swedes. She's not letting them push her around, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, she's a slight girl, but she is strong as an ox. I think that she's been Ireland's standout player, to be honest. She's having an excellent battle with Segar in the middle. The two of them are really going at it, and it was from Denise's that she drew on the foul that where Ireland's goal came from.
And as you had mentioned as well, that about 31 minutes gone, Sweden hit the crossbar. They were so unlucky. Caroline Segar with the chance there they look like they're getting quite frustrated at this point, and to go in now with a goal down, that they're definitely going to be upset with all the chances that they didn't take.
Yeah, look, I think they'll be fuming going in at half-time when they'll having all that possession, and then, from 8 yards out and hitting the underneath of the crossbar. It was unlucky. She probably would have thought that she should have took that chance, but I don't think they'll be happy at half-time in that dressing room.
And Ireland going in, a goal up, amazing here, amazing scenes. The place is electric when the goal went in. What confidence does that just bring now to Ireland for this second half?
Oh, yeah, they're going to be really, really confident, I suppose, going in. As you saw there straight after the goal, you could see a bit of confidence into Katie McCabe taking on a few players and with a shot from distance, about 35 yards out. But it's a massive boost for the girls, and I think it'll give them more belief.
Absolutely, and in your personal experience, when a goal like that goes in, it really lifts the team?
Yeah, absolutely, and look, it was perfect timing just before half-time. Couldn't have asked for a better time.
Something about Sweden that I've noticed is that they do the simple stuff really well.
They do. Their passing is excellent. I'm disappointed that they're not really taking on a few players and kind of showing a bit of spark. But I suppose I feel like they're waiting for Ireland to make that mistake, and that they'll take their opportunity then and try put some past us.
We are 1-0 up, but Sweden were extremely dominant through this half. Do you think that Ireland can hold on and can hold them off?
Look, I think if they continue to be really compact and structured the way they are, I would like to see the Ireland team push up a bit more. I think we're a bit too far back, and we're inviting them on a bit much. But with the good defending that everyone's been doing, hopefully we can do it on for another 45-46 minutes.
And have you been impressed with Sweden so far? Who's stood out for you?
Yeah, I think that they've all been excellent. They're all very comfortable on the ball. I think Seeger in the middle, like, she's 37 years of age and she's absolutely bossing it in there. I think it's excellent to see that. I think that Glass down the right hand side has been putting in a good few balls. Aslani has also been doing well. I think Blackstani is quite frustrated up front. Louise Gwynn has been doing well on her and kind of getting first the ball. She's had kind of one or two half chances, but nothing much. But yeah, I think that they're all doing well so far.
And just something to mention as well is that 2 yellow cards now for Sweden, Eriksson and Aslani. Is that an area that they need to be careful of now?
Yeah, I think so. And like if the Irish girls kind of keep drawing on them fouls, like they're going to have to be cautious, the Swedish girls.
Yeah, they seem to have a problem with that at times with their fouling. Especially there when we just watched Eriksson, she sort of just swung back.
Yeah, I imagine they're quite frustrated, to be honest, because Ireland are sitting back so much. And look, I know myself from playing, like you just want to be kind of break through that, and it's not always the nicest to play against that. So I imagine a lot of them are quite frustrated.
And just looking at the Ireland team now, Courtney Brosnan, how do you think she's fared out in this first half?
Yeah, I think she's done excellent. She's come out of her box quite quickly and has made some good saves. One or two crosses, she came out and punched it, and yeah, she hasn't made any mistakes. So yeah, I'm delighted for her. I think she's had a good first half.
Yeah, I think at times she was maybe in two minds what to do when the defence was sort of pulled back, whether she was going or staying. But I think by getting that punch on the ball that few times, it offered that bit of confidence to the girls.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, as an attacker, you're going to be putting the ball in the kind of the half lines between the keeper and the defenders. It's a horrid time for the defenders. They don't know what to do, but I think they've dealt well with that. And yeah, as you mentioned, kind of strong to the ball really gives the girls some confidence.
And just looking defensively now as well, obviously there was a few changes in there for Ireland ahead of the game. How do you think that they've got on in that first half?
Yeah, I think they've been solid. I think Megan Connolly has done well. She's dropped into that left side of the three centre backs, and I don't think she's put a step round, to be honest. Louise Quinn and Niamh have been solid. Their positioning has been well. They're getting their heads on it. I suppose the only thing is I'd like to see the girls keep the ball a bit more. I feel like they've booted it quite a few times just up the pitch, and with Heather Payne on her own up there, it's too much for her to be doing doggies all day.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a few times where they're just clearing because they have to clear, and you get that, but it was going nowhere. It either went out over the line here or they're looking for Heather Payne, but it was back in on top of them, and that meant the pressure was back again. When I suppose if you can take that extra second almost to look up and get that shot off, but look, that's easier said than done, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I suppose they're trying to catch their breath, and I suppose with all that pressure continually, time after time, it is tiring, and hopefully we can keep it a bit more this half.
Yes, we see Sweden are back out here on the pitch. We're just waiting for Ireland to come back out. Katie McCabe, as we mentioned at the start, 43 minutes gone, a deflected shot, a massive goal. It offered that confidence and energy that Ireland really needed, because Sweden have been extremely dominant throughout this first half. They will be very annoyed to be going in 1-0 down. What do you hope to see now from Ireland in this second half?
I think more of the same, as in defending and keeping their head, keeping the structure. They're obviously following a game plan. But yeah, I think that we don't want to get it too ahead of ourselves. Obviously, Sweden are top class, and just try and keep the ball and not make any mistakes.
Denise O'Sullivan is the first one out nearly on her own for Ireland. Here they come now. Denise O'Sullivan, what a player. She's been immense in that first half.
Oh, she's been absolutely amazing. I think every time the ball comes to her, she tries to keep it. It's kind of in her nature. I don't think I've ever seen her just boot the ball up the pitch. She, as I mentioned, she's a small girl, but my God, she's very, very strong. Keeps the ball so well, and she's had one or two chances where she played a good through ball for the attacking players as well, but unfortunately we couldn't get to it. But yeah, she's been the standout player for me anyway.
Yes, and we're going to throw back now for live commentary. It's Nathan Murphy and Shauna Cook.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky, proud partner of the women's national football team. Out believe together, and we can go anywhere.
So a seismic second 45 coming for the Republic of Ireland, who leads Sweden by a 1-0 in the World Cup qualifier. The two teams are back on the pitch in Gothenburg. The Republic of Ireland getting into a huddle down to our left-hand side. They spent a lot of time in their own half in that first half. They will try, as Julianne was saying, not try and invite Sweden onto them much more than they can, but it's going to be an absolute onslaught from the home side in this second half. But Ireland, whenever they've got in the Swedish half, have looked very, very dangerous. The Swedish defence haven't looked comfortable, have really struggled to deal with Denise O'Sullivan, have struggled with the runs of Heather Payne, and as the half we're on, have struggled with the brilliance of Katie McCabe, who scored that goal, one that will go down in the annals of Irish football history if Ireland can get through the next 45 minutes. Even a point will be huge in terms of World Cup qualification, because the way this group is going, a point for Ireland tonight would mean they could probably afford to lose to Finland later in the campaign and still get a playoff place. But we can worry about all of that and on. No changes for either side at the break. So the Republic of Ireland have Courtney Brosnan in goal, who had a very solid first half, was beaten once but saved by the crossbar. Back three of Niamh Fahey, Louise Quinn and Megan Connolly. Jamie Finn and Chloe Mustaki are the wing backs. Then we have Risha Littlejohn, Denise O'Sullivan, Katie McCabe in midfield, and Lucy Quinn playing just behind Heather Payne. And no change either for the Swedes, who are in their yellow jerseys, blue shorts and yellow socks. They're playing from right to left in this second half. Lindahl in goals, back three of Ilstad, Zembrandt and Eriksson. Glass, who's had a lot of the ball in that first half, and Anderson are the wing backs. Benison, who was booked, and Seeger in the middle of midfield, and Aslani, Hurtig and Blackstenius as the front three, who've all looked threatening at various times, all three of them pushing right up on the Irish back three. Shauna Cook, the former Ireland international, is alongside me on co-commentary. it's a very hard job that Ireland have now in this second half, because what you want to say is don't sit back, don't rest on it, don't invite them onto you, but when you have that lead, the psyche is always try and protect.
Yeah, and there we go again. Just like, I think it's very brave us playing out from the back and against Sweden, and again winning a foul. But I think this will be the first time in a long time that Sweden aren't in control of a game. So it'll be really interesting to see how they react from it, because
and it feels like that, doesn't it, that any time Ireland get on the attack, Sweden are almost upset, and they're being very rash in their tackling. They're giving away a lot of fouls. You mentioned it right in the first couple of minutes that Sweden do give away a lot of free kicks, and that's playing into Ireland's hands, because it's allowing them to firstly slow it down, take 30 seconds, 60 seconds, but also get organised then, and they look dangerous from free kicks as Niamh Fahey takes that one in behind, trying to spin it in behind for Heather Payne, who tried to chase it down, but it goes all the way back to Lindahl.
Yeah, I think at half time I can imagine the Swedish coach and staff would have been probably, telling especially the wide players. I personally don't think their wide players went enough at, and our fullbacks, I think they would have said to them, look, get facing them up and go at them every time, especially they got the ball in down their right hand side. It tended to get to a point and then come back again. As a coach, you kind of want your winger to kind of run at the full back and not keep turning back. So I think we'll probably see a bit more of that from Sweden this half.
Ball in the middle of the pitch, little touch there from McCabe, and out it goes to the left hand side. Chloe Mustaki on her first competitive start for Ireland sends it in very deep, but Heather Payne had come short expecting the pass, and it's wasteful from Ireland and gives the ball straight back to Lindahl. And you can sense from the crowd noise it's just been dampened somewhat by that Irish goal. There was a cracking atmosphere here in the first half, and if Ireland can keep this crowd quiet of almost 15,000, well, it could be a big bonus for the next 45. Out to the right hand side it goes, and Glass checks back. Illestad has come far forward, and she's forced back under a little bit of pressure then as the Irish press comes, and Sembrant back to Illestad, and Glass again has time to size up her cross, just floats it in there. Niamh Fahey's underneath it, ball comes out. A little bit of miscontrol at a crucial time then from Anderson, and Joanna Anderson forced back, swung in by Eriksson, and well defended there by Connolly. McCabe back helping out as well, putting some pressure on Glass over by the corner flag on the far side of the pitch. She's forced back to Illestad. Sweden again with all the possession at the start of this second half, but Ireland holding their line, and that back three in particular of Fahey, Quinn and Connolly have been outstanding in this game so far, as Ireland lead by 1-0 here on OTB Sports Radio. Sent in dangerously again, ball bouncing around on the edge of the area, and Blackstenius brings it towards the end line and comes off an Irish player and out of play. Well, it didn't go out of play. I thought it might have bounced out of play for a corner kick, and the Swedes are appealing either for a corner kick or for a handball, because the ball popped up. The decision didn't go in their favour at all, and Ireland are able to clear up to the halfway line.
Yeah, maybe it's me being a bit biased, but it would have been a harsh handball.
Remember, Sweden not beaten in their last 23 matches. Have won all their games in the group stage so far.
Yeah, it's a great record, but as I said, it'll be interesting to see how they deal with this. It's a situation they won't have experience for a long time, and if they want to go on and prove they're one of the greatest teams of all time, or one of the best going into the Euros, they're going to have to dig in deep and do a lot better, even in performance wise.
Oh, beautiful from Joanna Anderson to spin away from Finn down the left hand side, sends the cross in. It looked like there was a little nudge on Louise Quinn, and there was a little nudge on the Irish centre half. Hurtig, as the ball was floated in from Anderson, who showed a nice touch down this left hand side to just spin the ball away from Finn, and then the cross, but Hurtig a bit too over eager, and Louise Quinn drops to the ground and gets Ireland the free kick.
A nice little bit of skill.
So Louise Quinn in quite a bit of relegation problem with Birmingham at the bottom of the WSL. Different feeling at Liverpool for Niamh Fahey at the moment, who've just been promoted to the WSL. This is one of the most remarkable stats in Irish sport, that this is Niamh Fahey's 102nd appearance for her country. She has never scored a goal
I think she's a prolific player, and I mean what she has given to Ireland over the years is better than any goal.
Here comes Sweden over on the right hand side. O'Sullivan's tracking back for Ireland. Real pressure coming, drilled in across the 6-yard box, and Brosnan claims Blackstenius was the target for the ball in. It was a decent cross from Ashlani, and Blackstenius was in there lurking. Had all the Irish defenders backpedaling down the right hand side, drilled in, but too much pace on it, and the Swedish attacker never really had any chance, and comfortably dealt with by Courtney Brosnan.
Yeah, exactly what you want to see from your goalkeeper. You know, especially a game like this, my keeper might be inclined to just be a little bit more fearful of making a mistake, but you can see she's obviously playing with a bit of confidence, and Niamh Fahey giving her an old pat in the head saying thanks very much for clearing up.
It was a real show of faith in Courtney Brosnan from Vera Pauw. She's not playing with her club Everton, and Megan Walsh, when she arrived in last winter into the squad, Irish qualified, English born, who is playing with Brighton, there was an expectation she'd become the number one very quickly, but it hasn't happened. Ireland have it over on the left hand side. Katie McCabe from the end line pulls it across and manages to earn the corner kick, turned behind by Iljestad, and Ireland will have an opportunity from the set piece, and again it's the goal scorer Katie McCabe, instrumental, attacking down the left hand side, picking the right option, and it'll be interesting to see how many players Ireland commit to this corner kick. Well, they are going to send up Louise Quinn, who, unlike Niamh Fahey, who's also going up, is a significant goal threat. Louise Quinn has 13 international goals, though Niamh Fahey did score a couple of weeks ago for Liverpool.
Yeah.
And it'll be Katie McCabe to take this. All three centre halves have gone forward for Ireland. Over on the far side of the pitch, she sends it. She tried to play one off the training ground to the edge of the area, sold it short, Katie McCabe, and well, the centre backs won't be happy about that. And McCabe was coming back from an offside position then, and she is cursing herself quite literally over on the far side. I'm not sure what she was thinking there, because even to score one of those, it sets up, it's the Paul Scholes style volley from the edge of the area. It's a 1 in a million chance, and when Quinn, Fahey and Connolly had all gone forward, I think they wanted that ball played in, because if you lose it, if Sweden had got that, Ireland were caught out massively. So a rare mistake from McCabe.
I think though it's great to see the confidence and the kind of desire to want to play. You know, even from corners, Katie's trying to do something a bit creative there, and look, I take that all day, because if we want to go on and compete at major tournaments, we have to have players that want to play football and are technically gifted enough to play football. Heart will only get you so far in these kind of competitions at the critical stages.
Joanna Anderson goes back to Eriksson. All three Swedish centre halves well inside the Irish half. Magdalena Eriksson midway inside the Ireland half central position, rolls it in, nice spin on the edge of the area, but Quinn is out, and she's having a massive game, Louise Quinn, in the heart of that Irish defence, and then just smashes it out of play over on the far side. And it was Caroline Seeger who thought she had a bit of time on the edge of the area, but Louise Quinn didn't need a second invitation to pounce.
Yeah, and I think brilliant defending again by Ireland, just forcing the error from Sweden. But for me, I just can't believe how they kind of lack creativity. I know Ireland are putting the numbers in there, but I'd expect more from a number 2 team in the world.
Glass has it on the right hand side, is forced to go back. Now from distance, Seeger into the edge of the area. It might work out for Hannah Glass over on the right hand side, brings it to the edge of the 6-yard box, pulls it back, but there's enough Irish defenders there to turn it behind for the corner kick. Blackstenius was waiting and waiting, but she's been waiting all night so far, Stina Blackstenius. Hannah Glass, she could have taken it on herself, the angle was tight, looked to pull it back, and coming back to help out was Katie McCabe, who turns it behind for the corner kick. Over on the far side at the Gamla Ullevi Stadium, 10 minutes gone in the second half, and still the Republic of Ireland leads Sweden by 1-0 in this World Cup qualifier.
Yeah, I even think they're a bit slow at taking set pieces in the game. They're losing 1-0, but they must kind of believe that the goals are going to come if it's a sub, sorry. I thought they were just taking their time, taking the corner there.
They are making a change, Sweden. We'll just have a look and see who it is that's coming on and who is going off. So the player coming on is Fridolina Rolfo, and the player going off is Hannah Bennison. And Rolfo, who probably would have started except was ill for the last couple of days. They were concerned that she possibly had COVID but tested negative, and not quite right to start the game, but an absolute superstar at Barcelona and on for the last 34 minutes of this game. Corner kick taken, headed up into the air by Finn. Back there is Payne, and then again it's McCabe who manages to fire a clear. Denise O'Sullivan sets off in chase. Ireland struggled to get O'Sullivan involved in the game so far in the second half. Out it goes to the right hand side again, and Glass is closed down quickly, and Joanna Anderson over there as well. So Rolfa on, and say she's playing her club football with Barcelona.
I think that's where their creativity is going to come from now. She's a very creative player and likes to operate just kind of in and around between that 18-yard box and centre circle, pulling the strings. So I think she'll probably inject that bit of creativity that Sweden have been missing for the 56 minutes so far.
It was at Wolfsburg for the last couple of seasons, Bayern Munich before that, but part of that Barcelona side that sold out the Camp Nou last week for the game against Real Madrid. And they'll be looking to get her on the ball as often as possible. Sembrant lays it off to her right to Iljestad. Glass over on the right hand side for Sweden. Plays a quick 1-2 over there at Rolfa. Looks up, sends the ball in deep towards Blackstenius. Brosnan comes, punches clear, falls for Aliani, but she couldn't get it under control, and Brosnan comes out and just can't get there to deny Ireland for the corner kick. Connolly, I think, just almost took it off her, but Courtney Brosnan had to be brave there as the ball was floated in from Rolfa and rose above Blackstenius, got a punch on it, and then Aliani just couldn't bring it under control in the edge of the area, but did enough to force the corner kick.
Yeah, again, brave goalkeeping by Courtney.
So it's going to be Joanna Anderson of Chelsea to take this, left-footed to the near post, headed clear by McCabe, and then bounces off O'Sullivan, and Ireland are able to clear their lines up towards the halfway line, and they get through and survive another set piece. Heading for the hour mark here on Off the Ball, and it is still Sweden 0, Republic of Ireland 1. Our coverage with thanks to Sky, proud partner of the women's national football team. Out, believe together, and we can go anywhere. As Ireland look to qualify for a first ever World Cup finals. Australia, New Zealand, the destination. It'll be winter over there, but we take it.
Yeah, be more suitable to us, I think, but still be difficult to play in.
I think they'd worry about it, and they'd get over it pretty quickly, as again Courtney Brosnan, who's having a fine game behind that Irish defence. This time a deep cross. I think this time possibly Ashleani might have been in an offside position. Didn't matter anyways, because Brosnan was commanding and both arms high above her head, manages to claim that ball.
Good, brave goalkeeping again. Each time she does that, our team will take a lot of confidence out of it. But you can see, I think Sweden are getting a bit more frustrated. Lindahl, the goalkeeper, was lamenting our team there a few minutes ago to kind of, I think, just up the tempo. I'm just surprised at kind of even how lax they are still at times. Like,
this is an Irish squad drawn from all over the country and all over the world. Courtney Brosnan, born and raised in the USA. Several English-born players on the team. We've got Megan Connolly and Denise O'Sullivan from Cork, Niamh Fahey from Galway, Heather Payne from Roscommon. We've got Katie McCabe from Dublin. It is a team that covers the entire land, and a team that is doing them proud right now as they lead one of the best teams in the world by 1-0. But Sweden are going to come again and keep coming. Hannah Glass this time over on the right hand side. A little bit of lack of control, but it still works out for Sweden, and it's slid through now to Rolfa. Drills it across towards an near post. Oh, Brosnan saves onto the crossbar. What a let off. Still there though for Sweden down this near side. Hurtig has it, forced out to the left. Goes back then to Magdalena Eriksson. Eriksson floats it in this time. Too much on it though. Katie McCabe lets it run over her head, and out of play it goes for a goal kick to Ireland. Sweden 0, Republic of Ireland 1, but for the second time in this game Sweden have hit the crossbar, but this time it was thanks to a fabulous save. Fingertips from Courtney Brosnan to touch that onto the crossbar, and Ireland can breathe easily once again.
what a save, just to get that deft touch to knock it onto the crossbar. It was an absolute brilliant strike, but great to see from Courtney. I think she's definitely proven to me in this game so far why she's number one.
So another let-off for Ireland. It's one of those games, though, you know that Sweden are always going to create chances. It's just trying to limit them as much as you possibly can.
Good distribution by Megan there.
Eikendal has come on for Sweden as well in place of Sembrant.
Yeah, I think two players that have 4 goals apiece. They don't have a kind of prolific out-and-out goal scorer, but both Rolfo and Eikendal coming on, have been their sources of goals in other games. So there'll be expectation on them to continue that goal scoring, I suppose, streak.
Sweden have it. Ireland haven't really been out of their own half in probably the last 10 minutes or so. In fact, Heather Payne is basically playing on the edge of her own D at the moment, which means there's no great outball for Ireland as McCabe smashes it forward over on the left-hand side.
I think Vera wouldn't mind if she played on her own goal line if it meant keeping it to 1-0.
Both Eikendal and Rolfo started the game in Tala. Eikendal, a key part of the Manchester City side. There was a free kick given away. Blackstenius going in late on Katie McCabe, and that gives Ireland some relief deep inside their own half. Megan Connolly helping out there as well.
Yeah, just clever by Katie there, the game management, just any kind of slight touch and she's making a meal of it. Exactly what you want to see in this kind of situation.
Julianne Russell watching on as well. Julianne, the Republic of Ireland, still leading by that Katie McCabe goal, but it's all Sweden right now.
Yeah, look, again, it's a lot of possession by Sweden. They've had another good few chances. They've also made 2 substitutions with 2 superstars coming on. But yeah, at the moment, it's all Sweden.
It is, but Ireland are appealing for a penalty kick as Katie McCabe goes down inside the penalty area. Nothing doing, though, from the Romanian referee. McCabe has her head in her hands. She was sort of sandwiched between 2 Swedish defenders, went to ground. A rare attacking opportunity for Ireland. Again, McCabe central to it, but a let off for Sweden. We'll have to see a replay on that to get a closer look, but Sweden now comes straight down the other end. Anderson, she loses out though. Finn drills it forward, but only straight as far as Eriksson. And now Seeger rolls it to the edge of the area, through towards Blackstenius, and it's picked up by Aslani. Out it goes then and taken on from distance, but it's a rash effort from Iljestad, and it was always drifting to the left and wide, and Ireland will take that. And another opportunity to see what happened here with Katie McCabe, who tried to do it all on her own, driving forward, and she was looking for the contact, I think, with Hannah Glass, and there's no doubt that Hannah Glass catches Katie McCabe, but I think McCabe maybe leaves her left leg slightly hanging.
Yeah, I think Katie was looking for it. It was more she kind of caught the back of Hannah Glass's leg, but we've seen them given, so you can't blame Denise and Katie for looking for it. 25
minutes remaining. Every minute feeling like an hour for these Irish players.
Yeah, I'm sweating over here.
They will know what's at stake, and it's not just the 11 on the pitch. I think it's everybody who's been through the years with the Republic of Ireland side, Shauna, who has soldiered on, who has looked to help the national team make steps forward, and this will be a huge step. It wouldn't be enough to get Ireland to a World Cup finals, but the confidence that they would take from this will put them in a brilliant position heading towards the playoffs.
Yeah, I think, it's a special bunch of players, but a lot of it is down to Vera putting the players in positions, maybe uncomfortable positions. She's picked opposition and friendlies that are really going to challenge them, maybe. Happy enough to play against teams that she knows are a lot better than us, and with the focus on just us learning how to play against them. So I think Vera's just put us in a great position over her reign so far, and I think with the bunch of players she has now, I would be confident that we can get to a World Cup, considering we are the second best team in the group, and today we're actually proving we even have the capabilities to be the best.
Well, a win tonight would be one giant step. Ireland have got themselves a free kick. You would just love to see them get the ball into the Swedish half more than they're doing. It's easier said than done, obviously, because every time Ireland have got some possession in there, they've caused Sweden problems at the back.
Yeah, they've definitely, I think, been a bit of a thorn in the side when we've gotten forward, especially Denise and Katie. But I think they will also just be satisfied in terms of the chances. I know Sweden have hit the bar twice, but like other than that, they haven't had any huge chances. And I think
scuffed clearance there by Connolly, and the ball bouncing around on the edge of the area. Eventually Ireland do manage to clear their lines, but Sweden win it back again, sent in over the head of Louise Quinn, and everybody was a little bit hesitant there before the ball eventually finds its way back into the arms of Brosnan. It was a bit scrappy.
Yeah, I think Louise got a bit of a knock on the head there, but I think they've defended so well even in the second half against Sweden. They haven't kind of let the fear get the better of them, or had too many rushes of blood to the head. So I think now it's just about game management. Slow it down when you can, frustrate them, keep enticing them to make those fouls.
Well, Louise Quinn is having one of those nights as a centre back that everything just seems to be falling in her favour.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Richard Dunn
in Moscow.
Yeah.
She still has the number on the back of her jersey at this stage. But it is that sort of performance. She's getting her head on absolutely everything. Her 94th appearance for her country, Louise Quinn. 14 years on from her debut. The pride of Blessington, and she's putting in a massive performance as Vera Pauw looks on and is no doubt thinking herself about what changes to make. It's one of those that such a high tempo, high intensity game. While players are getting tired, I'd imagine there's a reluctance to make too many changes though, because it'll be hard to get up to the pace of it.
Yeah, it's definitely I think a gamble. There's not a player out there that's playing poor either, so it's probably a case of who do you sacrifice. But I think the subs will all be kind of eager to get on, but equally be happy enough with sitting on the bench and ensuring that the team continue to stay ahead or stay playing well. But I think Vera sooner or later will have to maybe make a sub or two just to take a bit of time out of the hands of Sweden.
Sweden again have got sloppy over the last few minutes. They had a spell around the hour mark where they were becoming more and more dominant, where Rolfa hit the crossbar with that save from Brosnan, and much like at a period in the first half, it felt inevitable that they would get a goal, but it didn't come. Ireland got that attack through Katie McCabe, and that has just taken the sting out of it, and Sweden have started to make a few mistakes over the last little while.
Yeah, I don't understand why the Swedish coaching staff haven't made a change down that left hand side. Like, the glass keeps cutting back. She hasn't taken Chloe on once or Katie on.
Now, ball over the top. Katie McCabe sets off in chase. Header Payne there as well. And have they forced another corner kick? It might just be a throw in right over by the corner flag as Magdalena Eriksson again pushed to the pin of her collar. Remember, Eriksson was booked in that first half for a challenge on Denise O'Sullivan, so she had to time that. It is a throw in deep inside the Swedish half, and it'll be taken by Kilnamana's Katie McCabe. Throws it to the end line, controlled over there, and back to McCabe. Sends the cross in, and it is just left in front of Lucy Quinn, and it's easily claimed then by Hedvig Lindahl. And Sweden will try and play from the back as they do. There's no real Route 1 stuff at all with this Swedish side, always trying to play through the lines, which means if Ireland can hold their shape, it's going to take a moment of magic from one of these Swedish players to get that goal. They've had a couple of moments so far where they've hit the crossbar, but they haven't been able to find the back of the net.
Yeah, they're very patient in their build-up, just trying to force Ireland into mistake. Cross
in this time, and Aslani swung her right boot at it, didn't get a connection though, and then acrobatically sent over her own head by Mustaki.
Good defending from Nia Fahy there.
Cross from the right hand side again, straight into the arms of Brosnan. Out quickly. She's just playing with huge confidence, Courtney Brosnan, at the moment. And we see Chloe Mustaki, who hasn't put a foot wrong. This will be one of the stories of the Irish sporting year from Chloe Mustaki, who's been to hell and back in recent years.
Yeah.
She's out there representing her country. I'm representing everybody with Shelburne with huge pride as well, as the one domestic player out playing tonight and out in the starting team.
Yeah, she's a player that has worked exceptionally hard. I'm fortunate enough to get to watch her week in, week out with Shelburne, and like, you know, she was injured for a long time, but I just, after every game, would just watch her putting in the extra hours of fitness, and now she's back playing again. She's still pushing herself. She stays out after the game finishes to do a bit of extra work every game, so I'm delighted for her.
Rolfa from deep. Oh, Blackstenius from 3 yards out heads over the top of the crossbar. What a chance for Sweden. Stina Blackstenius looks to the heavens. She had to score there. The ball floated in beautifully just above Louise Quinn, and Blackstenius never settled herself. Had her forehead high to the sky, and the ball just comes off the top of her head and over the top of the crossbar. Well, for a player of her quality who's doing it at the top level week in, week out, she has got to score there. Big let off.
She's doing it for Arsenal, definitely, but in terms of Sweden, she hasn't really produced on the goal front yet. I think Louise just done enough to put her off there, but I would be expecting a lot more from a player of her stature and the level that she's playing at.
Ball up the right hand side, and now this time they do get in behind with Rolfa. Has options inside. Blackstenius awaits. It's pulled back. Oh, it's a poor delivery, but it's not well cleared by Ireland. Drilled back in again, and it's sent miles to the right and wide by Rolfa. Well, Ireland just set off, and Katie McCabe chasing down a long ball, but from there was space down the right hand side for Sweden, and they went to capitalise on it. The pullback wasn't great, but Littlejohn played it straight into the path then of Agendal, who drilled it low to the right and wide. 72 minutes gone. Sweden 0, the Republic of Ireland 1 in Gothenburg in Group A of the World Cup qualifiers. If Ireland win this, they move on to 10 points from 5 games. They'd still be 8 points behind Sweden, albeit with 2 games in hand. And Ireland are going to make their first change, and unsurprisingly it is Heather Payne, who's put in a mammoth shift for little reward but a lot of love, I'm sure, on the sideline. And she is going to be replaced by Leanne Kiernan, who's going to come on, but is just having a bit of an issue with whatever is holding her hair in place. The fourth official doesn't seem too happy about that, but eventually has decided she's going to let her on. So Leanne Kiernan of Liverpool on for
one road runner off for another one coming on. Leanne will give you the exact same energy Heather gives us, and it's great to see Leanne back as well. She's had a few injuries over the past few months, but she's back on form again and back loving football, which is great to see.
And the same job expected from Leanne Kiernan. Just put as much pressure as you can. Don't make anything easy for those Swedish defenders. Out in the right hand side, Glass again, and Rolf is helping out over there. All 10 Swedish outfield players deep inside the Irish half. They're trying to create something over on the right hand side. The play is patient or pedestrian, depending on your point of view. The cross eventually does come in. Oh, and the header is met, but put wide by Aslani, who got there ahead. In fact, it was Hurtig who got there ahead of Niamh Fahey. And that's 2 or 3 times now in the last 5 minutes where a Swedish delivery from Rolfa, who's made a big impact since coming off the bench, has been a perfect pass, has caused all sorts of problems for the Irish defence. And this time it was Lena Hurtig who got in front of Niamh Fahey, but Fahey just about used enough of her body to put Hurtig off, and she heads it well to the right and wide.
Yeah, experience there from Niamh just now to give her a little nudge as she's making contact with the ball. But again, I've just been really surprised that Sweden haven't changed down that left hand side. I don't think Hannah Glass has made one cross, which for me is an awful stat for a player playing wide. Her job is to get the ball in the box and to take a full back on. She's done neither this game. But Rolfo is definitely causing some damage now. She's come on.
Hurtig down the left hand side, down by the end line. Niamh Fahey across quickly, gets a bit of toe poke and puts it out of play for a corner kick. Fahey claiming it should be a goal kick, but I think it was definitely a corner, and it is going to be a corner kick to Sweden. Quarter of an hour remaining. Sweden 0, Republic of Ireland 1. It will be the greatest away victory in the history of Irish football if the girls in green can hang on for the next 15 minutes. It was Katie McCabe who scored. Deflected effort just before half-time. Still the only goal of this game in Gothenburg. Corner kick going to be taken down to our left-hand side by Vera Pauw of Sweden. Floats it in at the near post. Brosnan doesn't collect, but it doesn't matter because it's headed over the top of the crossbar, and it'll be out of play for another corner kick. Blackstenius went up for it at the near post, but she was surrounded by 3 Irish bodies, and I think eventually it was Jamie Finn who got the important touch to head over the top of our own crossbar. Good evening to everybody listening in on News Talk who has just joined us live in Gothenburg. Sweden 0, Republic of Ireland 1 in this World Cup qualifier. Corner kick taken for Sweden. We're into the final 15 minutes. These are a huge 15 minutes for Irish football. Sweden, the world number 2 side, on the verge of losing at home. Katie McCabe scored the game's only goal just before half-time. A deflected effort from the edge of the area. Sweden are going to make another couple of changes. They've been laying siege at times on the Irish goal in this second half. They've hit the crossbar twice, but they haven't been able to find a way past Courtney Brosnan.
Yeah, that change of Hannah Glass coming eventually. But I just think they need something different out there, because I don't think she's really brought anything to this game for Sweden. One of many players I think has performed below par.
Natalie Bjorn and Olivia Shaw come on for Sweden. We've been bringing you live commentary on OTB Sports Radio all the way since 5:30. We've got Aisling O'Reilly and Julianne Russell with us as well. Former Republic of Ireland international Shauna Cook on commentary alongside me. Loads of reaction to come on the football show between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock tonight. And will we be talking about one of the great days for Irish football? Well, there's a long, long way to go yet. A team of Sweden's calibre, well, they do not panic. Sweden, who have played at every single World Cup, finished as runners-up back in 2003, third place back in 2019, in 2011, in 1991. One of the real powerhouses of the women's game. And they are on the back foot and under pressure, trailing by 1-0. This won't get Ireland qualification for the World Cup, but it'll be a huge step towards qualifying for a playoff. They've managed to win back possession. McCabe's pass just too heavy for Leanne Kiernan. And now here comes Sweden. Sweden on the attack down to our left-hand side. Ball is played in over the top, and this could be the opportunity. Also, lovely football, and the chance is there, and the goal is there, and Sweden have got their equaliser. Aslani scores. Heartbreak for the Republic of Ireland with 12 minutes left. A beautiful volleyed finish from on the penalty spot to equalise for Sweden. It was a rapid-fire counter-attack. McCabe gave the ball away cheaply inside the Swedish half, and it was all class from Sweden there. Nothing Brosnan could do. Heading towards the final 10 minutes, Sweden won, Republic of Ireland won. That is what Sweden can do.
Yeah, Jamie just caught on the wrong side of our marker there. And a brilliant little touch just to set Aslani up, but she just got caught on the wrong side. But one of Ireland's problems, I think, in the past has been transitioning from attack to defence, and I thought we were doing it quite well up until now. But look, I think Ireland just need to stay calm, stay relaxed, and just keep playing the way they're playing. But yeah, in fairness to Sweden, they've been knocking on the door a good while now.
Yeah, they certainly have. It was a lovely knockdown from the substitute, Olivia Shaw, who was just on the pitch about 90 seconds into the path of Aslani, who scores her 40th international goal in this, her 157th appearance. Real Madrid player. A lovely finish, and they have had their chances. And, well, from the Republic of Ireland leading by 1-0, they certainly don't want to leave Gothenburg with nothing. Even a point would be hugely advantageous in that battle with Finland for second place, and it would still be a massive, massive victory, a massive point if they can hold on for the next 10 minutes, but it is not going to be easy. Will Vera Pauw think about making more changes? Just the one so far, with Leanne Kiernan coming on for Heather Payne. Kiernan goes to ground, expects to get the free kick, and does get the free kick as Eriksson just bundles her to the ground. It's a free kick about 10 yards inside their own half for the Republic of Ireland.
And just slow this down for about 10 minutes, take about 9 minutes to set the ball up for the free kick. That'd do us well. But Leanne, excellent control there, and again just entice the foul, take the sting out of Sweden and just allow us a bit of a breather, get settled again.
Ireland just playing it around at the back. The Swedish subs have all made a big impact since they came on, asking a lot of questions of Ireland. And Denise O'Sullivan trying to get herself involved in there. She barely had a touch of the ball in this second half. She was outstanding when she got on it in the first half, set up Katie McCabe for that goal, but just found it a real struggle to get any impact on the game, as of most of these Irish players. As you would expect, Sweden with all this quality, 10 of their starting 11 were playing with Champions League sides.
Yeah, it's been a difficult enough half. They've made very good subs, in fairness, so I think Denise will be just more than happy to slot in and do her defensive duties for the team.
Iljestad, midway inside the Irish half, goes back, and now it's the substitute, Agendal. And Sweden, they want a winner. They want to win every game and expect to win every game that they play. And now it's back inside the Swedish half, just cleared forward by the Republic of Ireland. And now it's played along by Eriksson, one of the best defenders in world football right now, Magdalena Eriksson. And she's right on the halfway line. Dropping deep then is Agendal. And out it goes to the right hand side to Bjorn. And there's a bit of space here for Seeger. And Sweden just stringing together passes so easily at the moment. Ireland with everybody back within 30 yards of their own goal. Kiernan comes and applies a little bit of pressure. Cross sent in from deep. Denise O'Sullivan loses out on the edge of the area. Opportunity and a little spin there from Blackstenius. Sweden lining up their options. Oh, and a shot to the near post and saved brilliantly down low by Brosnan. That was going to creep in, I think, at the near post. Hard to spot. Aslani took it on, eventually looking for her, and Sweden's second of the game was patient. Got it onto her left foot right on the edge of the area and drilled it towards that near post. But Brosnan, who was a little bit unsighted, saved well down low to her left-hand side.
Good reactions as well to get up and smother the ball to ensure that, you know, there was nobody following it up. But Ireland just have to be careful. There was 3 players around Blackstenius there, but no one putting pressure on her. So again, just that communication. Somebody's got to be the one to say, go and press her, you're the closest player, because you just can't give them that space on the edge of the 18-yard box.
83 and a half minutes gone. You're listening to Off the Ball on this Tuesday evening. It's Nathan Murphy and Shauna Cook with you. Sweden won, Republic of Ireland won in this World Cup qualifier in Gothenburg, but it's all Sweden right now. Remember, the Republic of Ireland led for long periods, scored through Katie McCabe just before half time, which is a couple of minutes ago. Kosover Aslani managed to equalise for Sweden. Ireland have barely had a touch of the ball since. They're really hanging on now on the edge of the area. Aslani making a nuisance of herself again. Little John back there trying to get involved. Ball bouncing around high in the air before it's just volley clear up towards the halfway line. They need Kiernan to get up and get some pressure on, which she does on Iljestad. But out it goes to Bjorn. Bjorn just cutting in, and then it's a loose pass and a rare mistake from the Swedes, and that gives Ireland a throw-in in line with the edge of their own penalty area over on the far side of the pitch. And it gives them an opportunity just to pause for breath. As we see a replay of that goal, the knockdown perfect from Show, the control instantly from Aslani, and she had the finish to match as well.
She'll probably be a bit frustrated with the one she missed in the first half that she tried to kind of dink over Courtney Brosnan, but she put it right there and made sure she finished it this time.
Attendance of 12,123 at the Gamla Ullevi Stadium in Gothenburg. And I've no doubt when the Republic of Ireland get back to Dublin for their one and only home remaining qualifier against Finland in September, that there will be a record attendance at Tala. It should be a sellout for what will be the pivotal game of this group. It, in all likelihood, won't be the last pivotal game of 2022. There could be 2-3 potential playoff games. I won't get into it, but it is a very complicated process that even if you win your second playoff game, you don't know if you qualify automatically or if you have to go into another playoff with a team from another confederation. They don't make it easy.
It's like somebody must have watched the Hunger Games before coming up with that one.
It's a Hunger Games Ireland definitely want to be a part of right now.
Definitely.
Into the final 5 minutes. Ball forward for Kiernan. Looked as though she was in an offside position. She was. Ireland can't afford that. They need Leanne Kiernan when the ball goes up there to be a good positive outlet. And she wins her 25th cap this evening.
She's just got to stay focused and make sure she's behind the ball.
And stepping forward and sending it in from very deep, and getting up there was Seeger, but no great power behind that header at all from the edge of the area. And thankfully for Ireland, it is back into the arms of Brosnan. She's been solid as always tonight, Caroline Seeger. Such an experienced player, more caps than any player in Swedish football history. 226th appearance for her country. It's quite remarkable. Coming up on 17 years since her international debut, and still running the show from the middle of midfield.
Yeah, great.
Sliced clearance there from
great career.
Connolly.
I think now it's just about managing the game, doing what you can to stop attacks. This will be a great result for us, so hopefully the girls can hold on, you know, when they're getting a bit tired.
It's all Sweden. Sweden certain to qualify, you feel, as group winners. How much are they going to push for this winner? Just winning comes automatically to this group of players, and they have it on the edge of the area. Lovely little step over there for Show. Plays it off then to Blackstenius. Out it goes to the right hand side. Iljestad with the cross sends it in first time straight onto the head of Quinn, and then there's a loose challenge there on an Irish player, and they needed that as the tackle came in. And again, it's Denise O'Sullivan is the one who is hacked down, clearly well aware of the talents and the danger that Denise O'Sullivan possesses. That is 3 absolutely cynical fouls that they have given away. This time it was Bjorn who sides down Denise O'Sullivan, who's still just picking herself up, hobbles away, and when they've got her on the ball, she has looked all class. We're into the final 2 minutes, and even though there's a little air of disappointment and despondency from the fact that Ireland aren't still leading, we shouldn't take away from the fact that this would still be one of the Republic of Ireland's greatest ever results away from home against Sweden, to come away with a point. But they have to survive the next few minutes. It's with Magdalena Eriksson. Out it comes to this near side to Show. She's still inside her own half. Back it goes then to Angeldal. Rolled forward by Iljestad. Out it goes to Bjorn on the right hand side. Going to have a run at the Irish fullback. Bring it towards the end line. Sends the cross in, but again Brosnan. Her handling has been outstanding all evening. Courtney Brosnan, there was nothing she could do about the goal, but she hasn't done a single thing wrong outside of that, and claims that cross as Rolf has sent it in, and tells Leanne Kiernan to go as far down as she possibly can.
Yeah, just put that as far as you can up the pitch and hope it collects a bit of snow in the air.
Straight to a Swedish player. All our coverage of this game with thanks to Sky, proud partner of the women's national football team. Out belief together, and we can go anywhere. Just fired downfield by the Swedish players. Caroline Seeger is given the official man of the match, and it goes out of play as Courtney Brosnan, I think, just makes a mess of her clearance there, and it's straight out of play for a throw-in on the far side. It is a throw into Sweden, which they take. Final 30 seconds of normal time. How much injury time are we going to have? There weren't too many stoppages except for the Swedish substitutions. There's a challenge for Kiernan, which the referee doesn't blow the whistle for. Sweden are allowed to continue. Crossed in from the right hand side. Quinn with another good header to clear. Getting in there is Jamie Finn trying to battle and win it back for Ireland, and then it's fired high into the air by Fahy. The ball bouncing down midway inside the Irish half. Lucy Quinn trying to help out as well. Out of play it goes for a Swedish throw-in just inside the Ireland half, down this Swedish left-hand side. 3 minutes of injury time in Gothenburg. Sweden won, Republic of Ireland won in the World Cup qualifier. Bjorn has it on the Swedish right, coming back in. A little bit slow from Sweden at the moment.
I think they're playing like they'll kind of be happy with the draw.
Seeger lays it off, and the shot comes in from distance, and they were looking from the bend, from the right-footed effort, but it just wasn't there for Show, and it spins high to the right and wide, much to the relief of everybody in green. And there are a few Irish supporters in the stadium tonight who are both living locally and some who have also made the trip to come and support the girls in green. And they have been more than rewarded with tonight's performance. It was dogged, it was tough. It maybe wasn't always pretty, but against this Swedish side, it was never going to be any other way. They took their chance when they got it through Katie McCabe. Now they just need to survive at the other end to come away with what would be a vital point. But Sweden may not be done yet. Shaw has it down the left-hand side, towards the corner flag. Been shepherded out of play by Finn. Brings it back in, though, to the edge of the area. Losing out, though, this time. Ireland just can't keep hold of it, though. Giving it back to the yellow Swedish jerseys time and time again. But we're nearly midway through the 3 minutes of added time. Cross it comes, headed straight down by O'Sullivan. Back to a Swedish player again, but they're going backwards, and Deesa O'Sullivan putting a little bit of a press on now, forcing the Swedish midfielders back. Caroline Seeger, the Swedish captain, 25 yards from goal, slides it through to Blackstenius. Back towards Seeger, first time shot, scooped high up above the crossbar, and that may well be that. It was Rolfa with the final effort on goal, and Ireland may well survive here for what will be a huge point for anyone who's just tuning in this evening on Off the Ball and maybe hasn't followed the campaign. Ireland are scrapping it out with Finland for the final playoff place in this group. Ireland will be on 10 points, Finland will be on 10 points, but Ireland have a game in hand, have better goal difference, and have already beaten Finland away from home. They play Finland in Dublin in September, but everything, thanks to this point, will be in Ireland's hands. Sweden also play Finland before the end of this campaign again. Into the final seconds of this match, Sweden going with one last push. Can they steal a winner and break Irish hearts right at the end of this game? In it comes to the edge of the area, in towards Blackstenius, cut out back there though by McCabe, and then volleyed high up into the air by Denise O'Sullivan. And Ireland still putting some pressure on in the middle of midfield. The referee looks at her watch. Oh, it's a crunching tackle in there by Niamh Fahey, and the referee blows her whistle and gives the free kick. Oh, Fahey, I don't think she needed to lunge in like that. It was on Aslani. It's 25 yards out, and it's all set up for the grandstand finish. And she got the ball, Fahey, but she also got too much of the player as well. And there will be one last chance for Sweden to win this game with what is surely the last kick of the match. Shauna Cook has her head in her hands.
We've done so well to limit the amount of dangerous set pieces that they've had all game, and to give one away right at the death. I think it's the dream of every neutral. Every neutral will love this type of finish to a game, but for me, as an Irish fan, my heart is absolutely throbbing. It's in my throat.
It's 28 yards out. It is pretty much dead centre. Agendal and Rolfa standing over this. 5 in the Irish wall. Courtney Brosnan setting them up. We're heading towards the 94th minute. This is it for Sweden. This is it for the Republic of Ireland. Waiting for the referee to blow her whistle. Lining them up. Will it be Agendal or will it be Rolfa? It looks as though it's going to be the right foot of Agendal, who steps up. Here she goes. Agendal gets it over the wall, takes a deflection, spins over the top of the crossbar and goes behind for a corner kick. And the final whistle goes in Gothenburg. Sweden won. The Republic of Ireland won. It is one small step towards a World Cup for the Republic of Ireland, but it is one giant leap for women's football in this country. One of their greatest ever results, drawing with Sweden, the second ranked side in world football, and Ireland have come away with a point. It could have been so much more. We dreamt of it being so much more when Katie McCabe put the girls in green in front just before half time. But with 10 minutes to go, Sweden managed to grab themselves an equaliser through Aslani. You would have to say it's a point that Sweden deserved, but it is a point that could well be vital for the Republic of Ireland and their hopes of getting a place in the World Cup playoffs and getting to Australia, New Zealand 2023. The way they celebrated, those girls know just how important this result is. Wow. Shauna, you had your head in your hands. Ireland survive just about. We are going to go straight to break, and we're going to get some analysis right after this.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky, proud partner of the women's national football team. Out believe together, and we can go anywhere.
Better value lives at Dunnes Stores with big savings on your favourite brands. Enjoy 20% off bottles of wine and champagne 750ml range, or pick up a 24-piece Ferrero Rocher gift box, now half price at just €6. Plus, with our 10 off 50 grocery voucher, you save even more, which means every trip to Dunnes Stores means better value. Dunnes Stores, always better value. Terms and conditions apply. Voucher can be used on next grocery shop of €50 or more. Voucher excludes alcohol. Please drink sensibly.
Rory here from Elephant Self Storage. Do you need extra space for your business? Archives, excess stock, furniture, antiques, hospitality, catering, marketing. We have business rooms to let today. Spotless, private, secure, bright and easy to use. Book now from €20 a week and stay as long as you like. Sensible terms apply, and sorry, you can't sleep here. Business rooms to let at elephant.ie or 494 0000.
Looking for the perfect destination for the whole family this Easter? Liffey Valley has everything you need for a fun family day out. Begin with a browse in over 80 stores, including Zara, TK Maxx, Dunnes and Penneys, while the kids bounce around in Jump Zone. Fancy a bite to eat? There's something to suit everyone's taste, with over 20 restaurants to choose from. And end the day with a family movie in our 14-screen cinema. Liffey Valley, the perfect family destination this Easter. See liffeyvalley.ie for more.
This is Ireland's new true crime sensation, Unusual Suspects, the #1 podcast in the country.
They load up 7.4 million and drive off with a hostage, and they're gone.
In order to be one of them, you have to be a pathological liar.
You can see the stacks of money bulging through the nylon.
FBI are watching it 24 hours a day.
You can't make this stuff up.
Download Unusual Suspects now on the Go Loud app and all major podcast platforms.
The O'Brien's French Wine Sale is now on. Save up to 40% off our range of over 200 wines from French family wineries and famous brands. Discover the French wines we love, including Sancerre, Bordeaux, Burgundy, Chateauneuf and more. Pop into your local O'Brien's or shop online at o'brienswine.ie. Please enjoy alcohol sensibly.
Wish someone a very happy Easter with a present from giftsdirect.com, Ireland's largest gift company. From award-winning gourmet Irish hampers to champagne and wine gift sets, handmade Irish chocolates to luxury Easter eggs, Gifts Direct has Easter gifting all wrapped up, delivering around the world next day nationwide and same day across Dublin. Show them you care with an Easter gift from giftsdirect.com. The joy of giving gifts. Drink responsibly. Visit drinkaware.ie.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky, proud partner of the women's national football team. Out believe together and we can go anywhere.
It is Tuesdays Off the Ball and everybody is celebrating in Gothenburg. The Republic of Ireland have got a historic point away at Sweden that puts them in pole position to qualify for the World Cup playoffs, and Sweden have got the point that ensures they will finish top of Group A and have qualified for the World Cup yet again. Julianne Russell is watching this, so too Shauna Cook. Julianne, the Irish players, you could see the way they celebrated in full time, just what it meant to them. Yes, it could have been more when Ireland led for so long in that game, but a point away to Sweden, just put it into context how big a result that is.
Oh, stop. It's absolutely massive. Here in the stadium, like, I can just see it in the girls' faces. They're just absolutely buzzing. And hard fought 90 minutes, but my God, what a result.
So many huge performances, Julianne. Courtney Brosnan in goal could do nothing for the goal, but there were question marks about her coming into this. Was she still #1, not playing club football? Massive performance. Louise Quinn was exceptional at the heart of defence. And Denise O'Sullivan and Katie McCabe, when they got on the ball, couldn't get them on the ball enough. They always seem to do the right thing.
Yeah, look, there's been massive performances, and I think Courtney Brosnan has really kind of stood up, showed how good she is. She made absolutely no mistakes. As you said, she couldn't have done anything for the goal. Her handling was phenomenal. She made an unbelievable save in the 60th minute. She got her hand to it and it hit the crossbar again. So yeah, no, absolutely delighted for Courtney, and yeah, what a performance.
Shauna, could Ireland have done anything else to get the victory?
Yeah, well, I mean, just, I suppose, not giving away the chance that led to the goal, but in fairness to them, like, Vera's moved Katie further up the pitch, I think, which benefits the team. We've shown how well we can do when Denise gets on the ball, but like, teams are always going to have a few chances in a game. It's just a matter about how you deal with them. And in fairness, like, even the Swedish finish, it was a very, very well worked piece of football. So if you are going to concede, you might as well concede from a really good goal. So I think they'll be disappointed, but they'll also hold their hands up and say it was a very good goal.
The lay of the land in Group A is that Sweden have qualified top on 19 points. Finland are second on 10 points, but they have played a game more than Ireland, who are 2 points behind on 8. And Finland's remaining 2 games are away against the Republic of Ireland and at home against Sweden. The one concern will be that Sweden take their foot off the gas now that they've qualified, and somehow Finland can get a result there. Do you see any possibility of that?
The way Sweden played tonight, Finland potentially do have an opportunity, but look, I don't think Finland are a good team. I think we're a good team. I was saying this to you earlier on, like, I think we're very, very underestimated in terms of our ability and what we should be doing. I think we should be ranked higher. I think there should be more expectation on us to get results against these teams, because we do have the quality players. Finland don't have the players we have, so I would expect Sweden to go out and win. Like, the one thing you have to remember is Sweden, they're a number 2 ranked team. They're gearing up for Euros. Every player in that team is going to want to make sure they're a number, that they have a number within the 1 to 11 going into the Euros. So they still have something to play for. So I can't see Finland beating them now.
Julianne, the expectation levels are going to rise considerably now after this performance. The hurt of the defeat to Ukraine in the last campaign, I think, still lingers in that squad, and that, as well as anything, should drive them on over the remaining 3 matches, that there are no slip-ups, particularly in those games against Slovakia and against Georgia, that Ireland really should be winning.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think we still need to take it game by game, but I think the pain from that Ukraine game is still in the back of the heads of the girls, and that's really going to push them on and hopefully be able to get a good result in the next few games.
All right, we're going to hear plenty more from Julianne and Aisling O'Reilly over the course of the evening, both here on the Football Show and also on all our social channels. Aisling's just gone down pitch side. She's going to be talking to Katie McCabe, to Vera Pauw, and several more of the Republic of Ireland players, so you'll be able to catch all of that. But it is a momentous night for the Republic of Ireland. Could have been that victory when Katie McCabe scored that goal just before half-time, but Ireland will be more than happy with a point away to a team of Sweden's calibre. Shauna, thank you for joining us. We've got a regular football show coming up after 9 o'clock. Dan McDonald is going to be in, and all the reaction as well to tonight's game, and plenty more coming up with Joe, who's up next with the news round.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky, proud partner of the women's national football team. Out believe together, and we can go anywhere.
Tom Dunn.
Music, chat, guests, bit of crack. Paul, John, Bob, Joni, Sinead, both Elvises. It's first name terms all the way.
Tom Dunn.
Tom Dunn Show, Sunday to Thursday each night from 10 p.m.
on News Talk.
So do please drop in.
You can do pretty much anything in just a few